So we pull up and we look, we're outside the 7-Eleven. Somebody ran in to get the beer before they, shut down alcohol sales. And we look over on the payphone and it's Sly. He was on the payphone trying to get a ride. We say, "Hey, Sly." And then he jumped in our car, backseat of our car. So if it takes 3 to 5 minutes to educate your customer, that's better than having the call done quicker. So then you train your agents. If you measure it, get off the phone call. They're like trying to hurry up and just give them an answer and get off the phone because that's what they're being measured on. You end up incenting the wrong behavior or the wrong thing. But that's what a manager or a leader should do. How can I help you?
Yeah, serving your team.
Don't let things bother you, that type of thing. Enjoy nature and stuff like that. So that's when I left UPS, I took that sabbatical, drove to Alaska for the summer.
I've also witnessed what you put first because I'll never forget for my life how you selflessly uprooted your life from your family and came here when Michelle was sick. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know whether she was going to live. I didn't know what was going to happen. You came and stopped everything you were doing in life and came here. And literally, you weren't even allowed in the hospital. I was in the hospital with her and you weren't allowed in. You sat in the car and waited to serve me whatever we needed.
And people don't always understand that. They think, nuts, why did you do that? Why did you leave this? Or why did you make that decision? But as long as I'm okay with it, it's for the important things in life that you can't get back.
Some friendships change the trajectory of your entire life. Today, I'm not interviewing a stranger who's making Naples better. Today, I'm sitting down with a person who's helped make me better. This is Jeff Kaminski. When Jeff walked into the Ramada Inn kitchen in 1981, he was a 15-year-old kid who had just lost his father on his own birthday. He'd left everything behind in Michigan, his friends, his football team, his entire world, and moved to Naples with just his mom. I was the first person to say hello. What I didn't know then was that this Motown, Michigan kid would become my best friend, my mentor, and one of the most important people in my life. Over the next 4 decades, Jeff would transform Fortune 500 companies, help struggling organizations find their purpose, and teach leaders across the country that the best solutions come from the people closest to the problem. But before Jeff was transforming organizations, he was revolutionizing our little corner in Southwest Florida, introducing us all to this new sound of Prince in the early days, Morris Day in the Time, the King Bees. He brought a whole new genre of music to our area. He was diving for tackles on the Barron Collier football field. In our most legendary game against Naples High, problem solved his way through college, working 3 jobs, putting himself through school when most of us had support systems he never had. From mopping the floors at Robert of Philadelphia's first salon to the night we gave Sly Stone a ride from a 7-Eleven payphone. This is a conversation about showing up when it matters most. Like the time Jeff sat in a hospital parking lot for hours when my wife Michelle was fighting for her life, because that's what real friendship is. If you simply want to witness what 40 years of authentic friendship looks like, this is for you. This is Jeff Kaminski on the Spotlight on Good People. We used to emulate our air guitars in the day, and
well, you said you knew the name of the guy, the lead singer or whatever, and you said, "Hi, I'm Ian from Big Country," and I said, "Hi, I'm the black guy."
Because you didn't know his name.
Because I didn't know anybody's name in the band.
Yeah, he was probably Ian something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jeff introduced Naples to a whole new style of music, bringing Motown in Detroit and the bass.
Motown alternative.
Yeah, it was Motown alternative. Yeah. Kind of both, because you brought that funk with the bass.
Yeah.
I almost forgot that we were like living celebs for about 20 minutes of our lifetime in 11th or 12th grade with Sly Stone.
Oh, yeah.
At Chapter 11.
Chapter 11.
So anybody who knows Naples, that was... Have you heard of Sly Stone? No?
Sly and the Family Stone.
Sly and the Family Stone.
So that's, Everyday People, that song.
Yeah, where's your...
Can
you hand me my phone, please?
Pull it up.
Did I bring it over here? No, I don't think I did.
Oh, do you have it?
Oh, it's behind me. There it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Oops.
Yeah, you got it. You heard the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So that guy. So what wasn't he known for?
Folks for different folks. One and so on. Yep.
This guy, there was this bar
Right
downtown,
by the dock.
by the dock, near the dock, wherever
Yep.
the dock in Naples is.
Dock
You know
at
where that is?
Creighton
It was
Cove,
called
yeah.
Chapter 11. That was the name of the bar, and that was the hot spot at the time. And we were there, and he didn't perform there.
Yes.
He did.
So it was getting close to closing time, and he came and did a couple songs with the band, and we're like, oh my gosh, and then we said, oh, they're going to close. It's almost 2:00. We got to go get some beer before they.
Right, because they
Before
stopped selling
you
beer
stopped
after
selling
2.
beer at 2:00. Yeah. So we were like, all right, let's cut out of here. And then we went to the 7-Eleven.
Did we have him with us, or did we meet him there?
No, so we pull up and we look. We're outside the 7-Eleven. Somebody ran in to get the beer before they shut down alcohol sales.
Yeah.
And we look over on the payphone, and it's Sly.
Yeah.
He was on the payphone trying to get a ride
Wow.
because he ducked out of there, and so we say, hey, Sly. And then he jumped in our car, backseat of our car.
It's just like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we had to go outside of the city a little bit, because that's a 7-Eleven on 41.
Yeah. Yep.
Right
More
there.
towards the east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was on a payphone. No cell phones. That was pre-cell phone.
Pre-cell phones.
Well long. And got in our car. Did we take him? Did we
No.
just drive?
So he's like, can you give us a ride? And we're like, yeah. So he jumps in the back. I forgot who was in the car. I know Bobby was in the car.
Yeah. It was a Celica.
And maybe Vernicos was with us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then he jumps in the middle. And he goes, oh, man, you guys got to give me a ride. Okay, yeah. So you got to take him someplace off of airport. He goes, oh, go by Airport Road and stuff. And then he's sitting there, and then he starts lighting up a bowl of smoking some hash. We're like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
And then he took us to this we went to go drop him off at this house off of Airport Road, some, old neighborhood. And he got out. We're like, wow, I can't believe we just did that. And then the next day we read in the paper that he was busted for a drug deal. Some drug house got busted.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I didn't remember that. Wow. Yeah. He was so open about, I'm just going to fire up this hash bowl in the back of your car.
Well, was it Bobby driving? I think maybe Bob may have been driving.
Okay.
I forgot who was driving. I wasn't driving. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would have remembered that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I forgot our claim to fame there for a little while.
Yeah.
And thank God we didn't get
I know.
up in any
It's
of that.
like,
That was
what
nuts.
were we thinking?
What were we thinking?
Yeah,
There's a lot of those
we'll
moments.
give you a ride.
Smoke all you want, no problem.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
city of Naples,
Yeah.
which was like the worst thing. I had probably already been.
Just like looking at each other like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I wondered if that was.
He was
before.
asking, but he wasn't asking. He was just doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. He just was going to do it because he's Sly Stone.
Yeah.
And he was. Is he alive?
I don't know. We'll have to Google
He was.
that.
He had a reputation for slapping women around a little bit. I think at the time, didn't he? I thought he did that with.
Well, I think he was like, because that would have been what, mid 80s.
Was after
Ish.
high school. After high school.
Yeah, so mid to late 80s, maybe. I don't know when it happened.
Yeah.
Whenever Chapter 11 was around.
Yeah, I don't remember that era.
But I know he wasn't in public much because he was in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
Which is another reason we shouldn't have. But it's not like, I mean, he was a 60s, 70s kind of guy, so it's not like we would be following him.
Right. Yeah, we knew of him, but
Yeah.
we wasn't like in our top.
It's not like he was like the English Beat or, the
Yeah.
Cure or something like
Yeah,
that.
or Bono. in our
Bono,
car.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's another story. Went to the, did you go with me to the U2 concert?
Miami?
No, Lee County Civic Center.
Oh, I had to have.
Well-
They came to Lee County?
So this is, I always tell this story. It's like, I always ask people, what's the one band that opened for another band
Before they were a thing.
they were really a big hit? And it was U2 opening up for
Billy
Jay,
Squ-
Jay Giles band.
Oh, yeah, you were a big Jay Giles guy back
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Detroit guy too.
Detroit.
then.
Yeah.
So he was, and I had heard of U2, the first album, from my buddy JR.
opened for Jay
They
Giles.
opened for Jay Giles. I'll never forget. Now we were right at the stage, and Bono's right there in front of us, and
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. And this guy, some South Florida guy from, the 80s is like wearing a flannel shirt going, what are you, boo, boo. They're booing him.
Yeah. That was before that was like I Will Follow. It was their first album,
I
right?
Will Follow.
Yeah. With that heavy bass. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
That
So
they
what's
came
your-
from-
what's your-
I was there. I went to that show. I don't
But what's
remember
your,
that.
what band, what famous band opened for another band that you remember other than that
So
one?
who did I see there? I saw
Little
Van
Ro-
Halen,
You saw Van Halen there?
Yeah.
At Lee County?
Lee Civic Center. Yeah. Is that what it was called then, I think? Lee Civic Center.
Yeah, Lee
Yeah, I
Civic
saw
Center.
Van Halen, and I know, did Bryan Adams open for him? Maybe open for them. I don't remember. I know they were good.
We saw Foreigner there. I remember that.
Yeah.
Barely.
You still have the ticket stubs like you used
I
to
have
save?
I have the ticket stubs
Do you really?
from Detroit at Cobo Hall.
Oh, wow.
When I saw Van Halen and Ted Nugent. $10 paid to see Van
You still
Halen.
have the ticket, really, together.
Yeah.
That,
Well, no, they didn't. They weren't together. They were two separate concerts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that place, Cobo Hall,
Yep.
everybody, when I go back to Michigan, to Michelle's airport here, and they all have a story about Cobo Hall. Like that was a place that
That was the main place. Yeah.
a lot of shows. They didn't do sports there too, did they?
I think the Red Wings used to play there before they built their own stadium.
Yes.
So the Red Wings were in the Olympia first, which was an old rickety building. And then I think they played at Cobo Hall for a while, and then they opened up Joe Louis Arena, which is where the Red Wings played. I don't know where they play now.
Yeah, probably not there anymore.
I don't know.
But is Cobo Hall still there?
No, it's long gone.
It is. Okay. Well, there are albums or whatever they're called now of bands that were recorded at Cobo Hall.
Bob Seger. I think he did.
He's
Cobo.
another Michigan guy,
Oh, yeah.
and he lives here. Or he lives in the
He
area.
lives in Naples?
Yeah, Marco maybe, but he's in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob Seger.
Bob
yeah.
Seger was like, he's one of those guys that people don't realize how big of a hit he didn't like get into the stardom, but he made great music.
It's all we listened to at the Ramada in the kitchen, working
Yeah.
together. Or, I mean, I don't know if it was Doug or Kurt that would just put
Bob Seger.
the live
Probably Doug.
on the tape. It was playing a tape, and
Yeah.
it would just put it on endless. Yeah, it was Bob Seger, Alive or Live, whatever the live one was, and Ramblin' Man. That was a soundtrack is in my head forever.
But I saw Foreigner at Lee Civic Center and
Now, who were
the
they
River
with?
River Band. I don't know who opened with Foreigner. I want to say the Cars, but I don't think I saw the Cars because they were popular right around the same
Yeah.
time. But Pam said that she saw the Cars.
I know I saw more. She saw the Cars of Fort Myers, yeah.
I think it was Fort Myers.
I know I saw more than that, but the ones that stood out to me, because
Yeah.
that's like my password security thing now, is like, what was the first concert you went to? And I can only remember Van Halen. So it's always, if you want to hack my
Think
stuff.
about that venue is like, the floor seats were just open general admission. I think everything was general admission.
Yeah.
You just had to get there
It's just
early.
wherever you went, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like you got to see,
Yeah.
But it was out there. I mean, it was 75
Before 75 was
East
built.
League. Yeah, right. Pretty much. It was like in nowhere land. That place is still there. That Civic Center, whatever. I think they do like, what do they call those things? Flea market thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they have race cars or something, little track. But yeah, that was our spot. But when you came here and we were doing the whole music was my life. I mean, it was everything. It was DJing and the whole 45s and albums. And then you brought this whole new way of music to South Florida, because we were just never heard some of that stuff. Because you didn't have access to everything, and the radio stations didn't play everything. So to find different music, somebody had to introduce
Had
it
to
to
wait
you.
for
You had to go by
MTV to start, which
Right.
was right
Had just
when
started
we
about that.
graduated from high school. Right?
Yeah, right.
Was
Yeah.
when MTV kind of
Video killed the radio star. Yeah,
Yeah.
the first video on MTV. Yeah.
But yeah, I had some guys in Michigan that were in bands. They like alternative music, and that's kind of how I got to know early on about some of those other bands that you didn't know about, like the
King Bees and
the King
Prince at the time.
Yeah, King Bees, Prince. Who was it?
At the time.
The time.
He lived
Morris
there,
Day
right?
and the
Morris
Times.
Day. One of them?
What was the other one?
Sheila E.
No, the drawing a blank now. The Romantics.
Oh, that was our everything.
That was wash the floors at Robert Philadelphia, mopping the floors for your dad, and you'd blare the stereo and
What
you'd
I
be
Like
playing.
About You. Yeah. We just air
8
band
o'clock
that
at
song
night or 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
It's like,
we became the Romantics playing that song, like in the
like how else can you enjoy mopping the floor?
right? Yeah, we had full reign of the Salon. We had like our own little club. It was the Salon that we would get to have the keys to and get to go do whatever we want. Drink my dad's orange boom beer that he had in the back.
Great stereo system too.
Yeah.
So, and it played through the whole place. So.
Yeah, put the tape in, cassette tape, and
That's right.
and rock out at night. We had a place to go after the bars closed. We're just cleaning the Salon. It was our spot. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Did you ever have an 8-track?
No, my parents did, but I never had one. Yeah, they had one up north.
My brother Mark had one. I remember. It was so weird. If you ever listened to music on an 8-track, they would, in the middle of a song, change the track. So like the song would stop.
Song.
Yeah, and then they'd finish the rest of the song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things, even to see one of those now would be such a relic. That was like because it went from albums to 8-track to cassette to CD to digial.
And 8-tracks were like
big.
almost the size of a VHS
tape. Yeah, they were. Yeah. My mom had when we lived up north, she had the Rolling Stones, an 8-track of the Rolling Stones. Well, that was one of the 8-tracks that I remember, and an Elton John 8-track. But then when we came here, I was buying at 10 or whatever age up there, I was buying 45s because I had to sell them all when we moved because we were living in a motorhome. So we had to sell everything that we had because we could only live out of whatever we could keep in the motorhome. We didn't store anything. We sold everything. Yeah. Like furniture, mementos, anything that I didn't have a lot as a 10-year-old or 12-year-old, but whatever they had, they sold. And then we had to, so I had to sell my record collection at the time and then started over when we got here. But 8-tracks got sold with that era. But then,
because when we DJ'd, when we were doing the Sadie Hawkins dance and stuff like that, we played records, right?
Yeah, it was always records. Yeah. They were because people would bump into the table and skip the album around. Yeah, and the trick always was to find the song that somebody requested.
And there was always somebody at requesting Blue Oyster Cult.
POC, Don't Fear the Reaper. Where are you going to find that? and if you had it, you still had to find it, or if you didn't have it, like now, literally, you do that now. You could just pull it up. Like then, we had to carry those big record case, the albums that we had and the 45s,
milk crates full of albums.
Yeah, and then you had to have some type of organization around it to be able to look it up when they put in the request for whatever it was. If you had
but
it,
you
always
always look cool looking through the stack of.
Yeah, right. That was like you were busy.
The headphones on.
One earpiece. Yeah. There's a picture in the yearbook of that.
Totally look like a DJ.
Sadie Hawkins. Yeah. The giant Koss headphones on with the, looking up the album. But then so I remember you came here and you had these influence of this other genre of music that kind of blended in with ours, but it
expanded your horizons.
It completely did in a lot of ways. You also expanded my boxing horizons too, which was
and I learned how to wrestle. So
that's the only defense I had. He would kick my ass.
Do a leg sweep. What do you call it when you dive for the leg?
Single leg takedown, double leg takedown.
Okay.
Yeah. Single leg or double leg. It's the only thing I could do. As long as you didn't crossbar my face, I was okay. But
yeah, you couldn't handle the jabs because my reach was longer.
That was the problem. Yeah, I didn't know how to jab. So I got pounded a lot. So you have Jeff has two older brothers that probably used to beat his ass. And then he came here and beat my ass. So I was like the younger brother of your family. Because your mother always treated me like a the fourth son.
Yeah.
And she was always, your mom was a mom to me.
Like your
She
mom was.
Yeah.
Your mom treated me like a son too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll never forget the time that I got invited over to your house for dinner. It was like a formal dinner. We all sat, your sisters and your dad and your mom were all sitting there. Your mom or dad or both made dinner, and you guys, your mom made artichokes, whole artichokes.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you remember that. Yeah, she would make those artichokes.
I had no
stuffed
idea
artichokes.
how to eat it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you gotta suck it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't even know which fork to use. I've never been to like, that kind of a nice meal.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think about meals, I mean, I learned a lot from your family because I remember your dad took us to the at least one time. I think we went to the Pelican Bay Club.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where he had the Jordan, the wine.
Yeah.
He had the wine there.
78 Jordan. Yeah, the red cabs, Cabernet Sauvignon. That's right. You remember that? Yeah. Yeah, they would keep bottles there for him. He was into the wine. Yeah. Forgot we used to get to use his tab a little bit there too. Yeah, we go to the Pelican Bay Club. I don't know how long that lasted.
Yeah.
But those artichokes, those stuffed artichokes, that's like something I've never had in my life since. Nobody has carried that on. My sisters might have the recipe for it, but I don't think anybody's ever done it since then.
There you go. You got a challenge for this holiday season is you got to make stuffed artichokes.
Yeah, that one.
Surprise,
I don't know. Yeah.
Michelle.
I don't know.
Not going to do it.
No, it wasn't something I craved. I just remember the ritual of eating them, and my mom liked to make them. But a lot of what we did was around food, of course, at our house. But also, it was always great for me to go to your house because whatever I was craving a little bit, because your mom would make pierogies, gumpkis, kielbasa, and I would just drop a hint like, "Oh, you got
any more of that stuff?"
Whatever it was, and she'd whip it up for me. She'd make whatever I asked, and just loved to see me eat whatever she made. I just loved it. I always felt
she always remembered what everybody's favorite was.
Yeah,
like I like that casserole, chicken Bangkok. It was that.
Oh yeah, city chicken one too.
City chicken too. Yeah,
that was great.
And so like I'd come to visit, and it's like, oh, we got to have that.
Yeah. Well,
or the pistachio delight dessert.
Oh
it's like a pudding.
Yeah.
With whipped cream and all that stuff.
Yeah. It was a whole other form of food for me because, we had always the Italian sort of way. And then to get introduced to this ethnic, because your mom had
there wasn't a lot of Polish restaurants to go to.
No.
It's not like you're going out for Mexican, Italian.
Yeah, there's not a Polish
Chinese,
restaurant.
Yeah, there's not a Polish restaurant anywhere close.
Yeah, but Dorothy's house, Dorothy's condo, that was a respite for me. That place was great. In Vanderbilt Towers. Well, no, it's not Vanderbilt. Surf Colony?
Surf Colony.
Surf Colony,
yeah.
Number 2. There was 1, 2, 3. She was the second one.
Was it the second one? No,
Or
we
third.
were the first one.
Oh, the first. Okay.
Yeah, we were the first building.
Okay.
Yep. The first one, because we were the closest to Vanderbilt Towers. We had the pool right where the lagoon.
Oh, yeah, the pool overlooked the lagoon area there,
Yeah.
around the backside. Yeah. Yeah. Second floor? What floor? Is that third?
Second floor.
Second floor it was, yeah.
We always try to remember. It was like 204, 206. I can't remember. It was on that side of the building.
Yeah.
And then the boxing match was right outside the elevators.
We created a boxing ring on the second floor, Surf Colony, number 1, the middle ring. And if anybody came out of an elevator, they had to watch. They were going to left.
Yeah, they were like, you hear the ding. And it's like,
right, it stopped.
Like, nope. Somebody walks out and goes, like, hey.
The ding probably saved me a lot of times because he was kicking my ass. So you came here, middle of high school.
81.
81. You were going into your junior year.
It was in the middle of the junior year.
Oh, you came here.
I did fall of my junior year in Michigan, finished football season. And then at Christmas time or whatever, we drove down here.
Wow.
And then
In the middle of a high school
year. I started
year.
at Barron in January of 81.
Whoa,
Right?
whoa.
81, yeah. So that would have been 81.
It was the second half of our junior year.
So 81, January of 81. So we moved down here in like December of 1980 because my dad passed away in 79. So it was a year after he passed away.
Okay.
My mom had to make the decision to stay there or come down here.
Your dad and mom were planning to move here anyway.
After I got out of high school, I
think. They were going to wait. Oh, okay.
I think because, I mean, they were probably going to let me finish high school up there.
Yeah.
we never really talked about it, but probably, because the condo was going to be done right around, I think, 1980. Because what happened was, I think it finished, and so that maybe they were going to move down there. I don't know. I don't remember. I never really talked to my mom about whether or not what the plan was, because my dad died and
so young.
But I do remember that before we moved down here, they got it furnished and they rented it out a couple times to kind of help make the payments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And your dad was 51 when he died, right?
Yeah, 51.
Sudden.
Before they had we had 2 heart attacks. The second one is when he died, but they didn't have stents or bypass surgery or anything like that to kind of.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they did the catheter thing to even see if he had blockage. I don't even know if they had all that stuff going back in the 70s, late 70s. It may have been groundbreaking type stuff, but not commonplace.
Yeah. So what happened? How did you find out?
Well, it was, so, it was on my birthday, my 15th birthday, and I was out with some friends.
Which is, you're about to have a birthday here, right?
Yeah, that's actually on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
So today's Wednesday, it'll be on Saturday.
Yeah.
61. But anyways, I was in the neighborhood at some friend's house, and somebody came over and said, "There's an ambulance in front of your house." And so I came home, and they were working on him and took him away, and never saw him again.
Wow.
Alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your mom was there with him?
Yep. He had just gotten out of the shower, and I think I think it was that she kind of walked in, and he was kind of looking out this window in the bedroom, and he kind of looked and then collapsed. So.
And how was she at that time? What was that like as a 15-year-old? What was that like?
I don't even remember. It was just hard to grasp, and really the reality of kind of what just happened.
Yeah.
So.
Was it just you and Mom at that point because your brothers were gone? Or were they still... Michael was gone.
Was Mark? So Mark had... I think he had just graduated from high school. And I don't know if he had moved out or not, but he wasn't around a lot. So, but, obviously Michael, Kathy, and Gwen were off on, they're 12 to 14 years older than me, so they were long gone and married and stuff.
Because you were the baby.
Yep.
Yeah. So you were in Dearborn then, or
Livonia?
You were in Livonia then. You started at Dearborn then. No. Or where
we lived in Dearborn. I was born in Dearborn, and then we moved to Livonia.
So you were there, and that was when your dad you bought a house that he was fixing up, or it was a new development, is what it was. Is that why you guys moved there?
Well, so my dad was a Dearborn police officer, so he did that most of his life, and then he retired from there, and then got into real estate, and then he started buying and fixing up homes in addition to selling homes, and then he started looking at new construction out in Livonia, and then, through the buying and flipping some homes back then, we bought the place in Livonia, and then.
So that was a move that you had to switch.
And that was in the middle of junior high. So that was.
You switched schools then.
Yeah, that was between 7th and 8th grade, and then so started over new there, and then. And then it was the middle. I was in 10th grade when he passed away. So 8th grade to 10th grade, we were in Livonia. And,
So
that's why he bought, so he was into real estate. So that's why every time we came to Florida, he was looking for property down here.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he bought at Surf Colony pre-construction.
Oh, that was pre-construction.
Pre-construction.
Really?
He bought that.
Wow.
Or they were, before they were finished with the building.
Yeah.
So it probably was already up, and they were selling units. And so.
Why? How did they end up Naples?
So literally, we'd go on vacations, and we would drive down the East Coast, stopping and looking at new model homes and stuff like that. And then we would I remember Mark and I would run into every place that we went to. It's like, oh, this is my room.
Yeah.
And we'd never buy. And then we ended up in Naples. He was like, this is the place we're going to wanted to buy because they liked Naples, obviously.
Yeah.
Had the foresight to see this is going to be a nice place.
Yeah.
So.
And Surf Colony at the time, because we were in Vanderbilt, not far from there, was so far north. I mean, it was like almost Fort Myers, people thought of it as. Because as soon as you went north of Pine Ridge Road, it was another world.
Yeah.
So,
but it was new construction. So it was like, I think he was seeing the benefit of buying, pre-construction and then being able to turn it. Who knows? But he never got to see it, never got to experience it. So I think that's why my mom said, our relatives, my aunts and uncles said, you should probably just go down there. You guys plan this. This was going to be a retirement place. Go down there. Little did they know they were telling her to go somewhere where she had no support system, no family, no friends. And they were like, yeah, go live down there. And
it was the two of you.
Yeah, it was just me and her.
Yeah.
And then I walked over to the Ramada Inn to get a job, and there you were.
Yeah. Yeah, that good old
the one everybody else was being like, ignoring me and stuff. And you're like, hey, how you doing? So made my transition very easy.
Yeah.
To like have a connection. Not only, getting a job there, because I must have gotten the job before school started. Because I met you before school started.
Okay.
In January. And then when school started, you saved me again at the lunch table, just like nobody would sit with me. And then you came over and said, hey. And you're like, oh, you know Rob? Okay. And then, once spring football started, then I started making more friends.
Yeah, you were a jock. Yeah, they liked having you, the fast white guy, coming down here. Yeah, with our 0-10 football team. That was at the time because we were
with no football stadium.
That's right. We played at Naples High. It was our home games.
Yeah, we had the football stadium that Baron Collier has right now was our practice field. It was like
Sandspurs.
Yeah, Sandspurs. Yeah.
You make my ass want to spit. Yeah, Coach Broxton.
Yeah.
What was that saying? He said,
you make my butt want to suck Sandspurs.
Suck Sandspurs. Yeah. Rest in peace, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they didn't have enough money.
Yeah, so our home games were like our home game against Lely was at Lely. Our home game against Naples was at Naples.
Yeah.
We were on the home team sidelines in Naples.
And they were over there.
And they were on the visitor side.
Wow. That was crazy.
Because it was our home game.
Yeah. Well, it was cool for me because I had like this inside one of the stud football players. Like he's my friend, man. That's my guy.
John Kaminski.
Yeah. And that day will live with me for the rest of my life. Was the most heroic moment. I think the most exciting moment of Baron Collier's football tenure forever, because Naples was always so dominant. Naples just destroyed, walked all over. They just were the thing always. And they always had D1 players and, and they never played you at running back. You had played at the speed for it, but they always played Reggie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, but
I was just glad to have a starting position playing defense. So.
Yeah. And you were doing on kick return or punt return?
It was, I forgot how I got on. It was kick. It was, I did both. But I don't know who it was. Somebody either got injured or was academically ineligible or did something stupid and they couldn't play. Mm. And then the defensive coach, I forgot who that guy's name was. Short, stock. He was a wrestling coach.
Ayers? Or not Ayers. Who was before? DiGiacomo Ayers?
The short, stocky guy. He was a wrestling coach.
I remember DiGiacomo, Ayers, McCormick.
Ayers may have been Ayers.
Coach Ayers, kind of loud a little bit.
He was our defense coordinator.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, I remember Coach Ayers. Yeah.
So, we do the defensive drills. Well, somebody's got to carry the ball so the defense can practice tackling, right? So every time I got the ball, nobody could tackle me.
Oh, so they saw. Okay, well, we can use this.
So when it came down, it's like, oh, who are we going to put back there? Coach goes, put Kaminski back there. He's good at open field running or whatever, breaking. Yeah. And so that's how I got picked to go do that.
So we're playing our rival.
And the reason I was good at it is because of my brother and his friends.
Oh, because
we played this game when we were little. We had, in Dearborn, we had our house, and then the garage was detached. So it was, and our backyard was behind the house, but alongside the garage. So envision that type of a yard. So we would always, go play outside. So we'd always try to entertain ourselves. So we'd throw the football on top of the roof of the garage, and you can't see. You had to be
wherever it comes down.
Wherever it comes down, whoever you grab it, and you had to run to the back of the back of the backyard to score, and you kind of kept score. So anytime I would do it, I had to figure out to not get hit by my older brother and his friends.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned how to.
Oh yeah, because you were the younger brother.
Evade tacklers.
Yeah.
Because I'd get tackled.
There's a thing about that with the younger brother having to, with older brothers. Even Carmen Cali, who's the baseball player who was on the podcast, he had an older brother that he always had to deal with, that had to compete with. Yeah. And they always, had a one up. They're older, they're bigger, they're stronger. So the younger one has to hustle more and work harder and stay alive. And you're pretty much playing kill the man with the ball.
That's exactly what it was.
Whoever gets the ball, we all go for the guy.
I never tried to take a direct hit.
Oh yeah. So that got you good.
Yeah.
That got you the training.
So that got me the Barry Sanders moves,
for one of the most spectacular moments of all of our high school careers, because Naples High was everybody's nemesis, but especially for us because we're a new school, didn't have a big football program, didn't have our home thing, and so for us to even come close to beating Naples or keeping the game close, they would put the games on the radio. They weren't televised, but Joe Klimas the games were on WNOG, wonderful Naples on the Gulf. The radio station, WNOG, and Joe Klimas would do the games, and he had this great, exciting voice. And
he knew all the players' names.
He did.
By the
little score sheet?
Not the...
but whatever they gave him, which was usually wrong.
What do you call
roster
it?
That they...
it was a roster, but it was... What did they...
The program.
The program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was printed wrong.
Yeah. Which said John Kaminski instead of Jeff Kaminski.
Yeah, so I was getting to the game late, and parking at Naples High was always difficult because you had to park in the residential neighborhood. And
where Pam lived.
Yeah, that's right. Right across the street.
Yeah.
Your bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, lived there. Didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I wonder if she was at the game. She probably was.
She was. She was she was a statistician with Mel.
And never knew that number 31 is going to be my husband.
Yeah.
He's going to be the father of my children. That's crazy.
Fate.
That's wild. Because I'm pulling in with I think at the time it was the Monte Carlo, the yellow, the banana yellow Monte Carlo, finding a parking spot. I got the game on the radio and I'm late. And I hear Joe Klimas getting so excited because Kaminski, and he was calling him John Kaminski, broke a tackle on a kick, broke many tackles, and is running down the field about to score a touchdown. And this man, who will forever live in infamy, to this day, Curtis Walker, we hate you. Curtis Walker ran him down, probably the fastest guy on their team, caught jamming Jeff Kaminski, but they called him John Kaminski on the radio. It was like, that's my friend. That's my best friend. He just did that. He just did that against Naples High.
I think I made it to the 4-yard line. And got shoestring tackled me, but
what was that like?
Exhausting. I don't know. It was fun, but it's exciting because that's what I did all through Michigan. I played, running back, and so I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to play running back down here.
Yeah,
but so when I got the opportunity to do that, I was like, this is right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So I think I told you before, I don't know if you remember, but I came off that. Everybody's cheering because, we ended up scoring and stuff. And it was a close game, too.
I know.
If Manhart hadn't dropped that one.
That was the game.
Sorry, Phil.
Phil Manhart, right in his breadbasket, dropped the ball. Forever, Phil will be remembered for that.
It was a memorable game because we almost had the big upset.
Yeah, that was like the upset of the decade, especially us, because we just weren't known.
Yeah, but I came running off the field, and Broxton looks, he goes, why didn't you tell me you could run like that? I'm like,
Coach.
He turned his back, and I flipped him off. Like, what are you talking
what does
about?
it take? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're proving it on the field.
Yeah.
That was even though we lost the game, it was still a statement. It was made our school proud.
Maybe Baron Collier's, actually, I think that season, our first game, I think, was against like Port Charlotte or something.
Yeah.
And we won a game. And I remember Port Charlotte being so ticked off because they were the team that lost to Baron Collier.
Yeah, that's right.
Because wasn't Baron, like, if you had gone to Baron your whole high school career, that was the first 4-year graduating class?
Our group was, because it's 78 was the freshman class, and we're the first 4-year group to go through,
Yeah.
And there hadn't been much success.
Yeah. I'll remember that game, too, because we were winning, and it was getting down, and the other team was, Port Charlotte was, had the ball, and they were trying to, score and beat us. And I got it. They threw a long pass, and I got an interception, and I got beat up.
Play. Really?
Huh? Yeah, I picked it off. I was running down the sideline. They tackled me, and there was this lineman who was just beating the hell out of me because he was pissed that we got the ball back.
Yeah. I remember talk of that game because that was a big deal. Blakemore and Seitz, and who was on your defense?
Jimmy Muir.
David Anderson. He was defense.
Yep. It was all our backfield. Our defensive backfield was me, Blakemore, Jim Muir, David Anderson.
Brand was a linebacker?
Brand was a linebacker. Yeah, Dave Brand was a linebacker. Who am I missing there? Somebody
Who's
else.
the tall redhead? He was a lineman, I think.
He was an offensive lineman.
He was offensive line. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Richard something? Richard.
Yeah. He played, I think he went to play at Central Michigan, or Central Florida.
Oh, yeah?
UCF.
Yeah.
But
Briggs quarterback, Reggie running back.
Yep. Steve Miller was a wing back.
Oh, wing back.
And
old style.
And then
wing back.
Chris
Wright. Oh, Chris Wright.
Yeah, Matt Chris, wide receiver.
Chris was a running back too. Chris Wright.
Yeah.
Chris,
it may have been Chris that I subbed out for when I got to do kick returns.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He may have gotten injured or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I knew any more people's names.
Yeah, I know.
Phil.
That was mostly the camper group and the group that's kind of stuck together.
Well, Billy Tucker, too.
Oh, Tucker. Yeah.
He was defensive back, too.
Yeah. Steve Frog played, too?
Steve Frog, he was offensive line.
Rest in peace, Steve, yeah.
And this guy named Goner.
Joe. He'll watch this. He's one of the few that is loyal to everyone.
Yeah,
I'm sure there'll
be some nasty little remarks.
Oh, he's the best, but he's good for the algorithm. Thanks, Joe.
But
love you, Joe.
You got to have him on the podcast. Get him and Matt Chris to do a
together.
Yeah.
Oh, they love each other.
Yeah.
Nobody gets under Matt's skin like Joe.
Yeah.
It's those two forever.
And Joe lives to get under people's skin.
Doesn't matter who it is.
He's
a professional.
He's just like, watch me get this guy.
He knows exactly somebody's weak spot.
There was this guy another guy, and I'm sure Joe will remember him because I think Joe used to he came over from Naples High.
Yeah, he was.
And there was another guy that was really fast.
George Aid,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he was really fast, but I don't remember him being a really tough player. Like he could get.
He was known for his speed. But
known for his speed, but not necessarily being able to take a hit and stuff.
Yeah.
So not like a tough player.
Yeah.
So that's just
because he was Lely. I think he came over.
Yeah,
from
he was from Lely. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but he. I didn't make a lot of waves anyway. I just knew his speed. I always heard about how fast he was.
I think Matt was the first friend that I had that on the football team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it was football was before football started or something. It was gym class or something. He was trying to mess with me, and I didn't back down because I was like, all right, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And he was going, you're pretty cool. And then he started being nice to me.
Yeah.
So
that's Isn't that funny?
Yeah. You remember like for me, it was such a huge transition coming down here.
Yeah.
Meeting you and everybody, the Ramada Inn gang, that was comforting, and being able to have a home, and then playing football with those guys and the campers and stuff. I didn't go camping with them all the time, like because they had that had started before I even got there.
Yeah,
camper group. So.
Well, that was So the Ramada Inn was where there's a condo there now, but it's at the end of
right next to Wiggins Pass.
111th Avenue, right next to Wiggins Pass. This big condo there. That was the Ramada Inn. So that was sort of our hangout. So Vanderbilt area was sort of Baron Collier's beach area, and then the campers would go to which is like off airport, which is the industrial park back there, which was nothing.
Horseshoe.
Horseshoe, yeah, it's
Horseshoe
still
Bend,
Horseshoe. Yeah, that's the back. Yeah. That's where they would go and get a keg of beer and
camp out there, and nobody would bother them.
Yeah, that was before we had our artistic. We showed off our artistic flair at high school before we demonstrated how good we were as artists.
Yeah, we won't go into that topic. I don't think. My kids are going to watch this, right?
Thank God we can't. That was not public.
I have to tell my daughter Julia where she got her creativity from.
Yes, Daddy's got some
ability.
artistic. Yeah. People have to research that and see where they do a deep dive on it. I don't think you can't find anything online. So, thankfully,
we were juveniles, so
we were protected.
Yes,
still to this day,
sealed records.
The records are sealed,
yes.
And they cannot be unsealed. Thankfully, no mugshots.com for us.
Yeah.
Well, the
Good
Ramada,
times.
The Ramada was so work was. You worked in front of the house because you were.
I started off as a busboy.
Yeah.
I think Jack, was that his name?
Jack ran that. Yeah,
Jack
Dave and I were
Harold.
just talking about you. Yeah, the couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack and Harold.
Jack
but
was
Jack,
the
I
maitre
interviewed
d'.
with him, and he was, hard, kind of trying to be a hard guy and just really.
Yeah.
And as soon as I told him my story about, my dad died on my birthday, and I just moved down here with my mom, and I have no friends, and I don't know. And they were like, I better give this guy a job.
Yeah.
So I started as a busboy, but then had to quickly influenced by the back of the house crew.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You
Doug
guys,
and Kurt and Don and I mean that was our upbringing. It was like
who was the Vietnam cook? That guy.
Rich. Yeah, Vietnam. Yeah, he had a couple DUIs. He would ride his bike to work.
No, Rich was was he a breakfast daytime cook or a nighttime cook?
Rich was nighttime.
No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Had long blonde hair.
Oh, Don.
That was Don.
Don had the ponytail.
Yeah, took
he was
Fast
Vietnam,
Bobby
too.
to the emergency room when he cut his finger.
Yeah, that was probably I forgot about that. Yeah, he cut his finger good. Yeah, Don. Yeah, he was the guy who used to tap the keg. He used to go into the walk-in cooler out there, bring his own tap, get the tap, and fill up
Sounds
pitchers
like
of
him.
beer.
Yeah.
And bring them inside.
Because that's when they cut us off from getting pitchers at the end of the night from the bar. Because remember, we used to be able to just give them a water pitcher.
And they'd fill it
and
with
they'd
beer.
fill it up so that as we're cleaning up after dinner.
We got the drink.
And and we usually started before the dining room closed. And then they changed it to say, all right, wait till the dining room closed. And then they said, all right, you guys. And that's probably when he tapped because that was the walk-in cooler. Was that the one right in the back or the one across?
The produce school outside. The
Outside,
one, no, it was before they built the one across.
Yeah.
It was the one right out the door there.
Yeah.
You go in there, close the door. And,
Yeah.
Don would hand us the pitcher and go get me my, fill it up. Wow, that was crazy. We would do that.
Yeah.
Stealing beer from the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, David, sorry about your food costs that we killed on those times. But our lives were there. We did everything there, like a lot of stuff. I mean, that was.
Yeah. And then I had a stint when I went to Michigan, and then I came back for a year, to save some money and stuff, because I think living situation in Michigan is like I had to come back to Florida for a little while, and I came back to the Ramada Inn, and it was like, what job can I get? And David got me into housekeeping. Remember I did the housekeeping job?
Yeah. You were like leading or something.
Yeah,
weren't you?
I was like doing all the room inspections and stuff like that. And
I forgot about that era.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the formative years of our lives in early
I thought I was going to go
Naples.
into hotel management after doing that. And and then it said, nah.
Yeah, it gave you leadership experience because you were running things there.
I'll never forget, like when I first, very early on, like somebody goes, oh, somebody stole something. One of the housekeeping ladies goes, somebody stole something from me or whatever. And it's like I had to get everybody together and kind of do interviews and find out and who could have stolen the stuff. And it was really crazy.
Yeah, that was a whole other department. That was like the housekeeping was such a separate wing from what the world we knew in the kitchen. That was like a whole other. I forgot who ran that, who the person was.
This lady, I forgot what her name was, but she was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we used to make the pina colada mix for the cheeky bar.
Yeah.
Run it out.
Those pina coladas.
Not in the housekeeping, but when
those were delicious.
in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just the mix. I think we were just making the mix, or did we make the actual?
I don't think we made the whole
We didn't
thing.
put the alcohol in.
No.
There.
They had the best pina coladas there. They were so good.
Yeah.
The cheeky bar there, which is notorious.
Because everybody would come for sunset there.
This is the most beautiful spot. You go there and get a drink on the beach in this little cheeky hut at the Ramada Inn. It was known when that closed. It was such a big deal.
Somebody was always playing music out there. Talent out there.
Yeah, it was a beautiful spot in Naples.
I think staying at the Ramada Inn is what got my dad to stay.
Oh, right.
He's like, because it's
that's where people would stay, right on the beach.
And
no
the
Ritz
condo that we got was
Ritz.
right there.
Yeah, they were building right next to the Ritz.
So we would always come down and stay at the Ramada.
Yeah, it was the Ramada and La Playa. They were the two on the beach.
Yep.
And the beach club was there
Lighthouse.
too. The Lighthouse restaurant and motel.
Yeah.
But that was the spot. And still north Naples. But that was before the Ritz, because the Ritz didn't come until 86, which
No,
changed
we helped
Naples.
clear the land for that.
We did. We did. I forgot.
Why did they leave the keys in a bulldozer? I don't know.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
We actually, they were clearing Pelican Bay, where Pelican Bay is now. They were clearing. They had these big excavator trucks and bulldozers, and they would leave these vehicles overnight. And it was an area that was not
Like a weekend, yeah.
Not
accessible,
well seen, right?
You
had to
couldn't
walk
access it.
for a while to get there. Yeah, you had to walk along the beach and then go up in.
Yeah.
And they would leave these big rigs that had the keys. Like you could just start these trucks up, right?
Yeah.
We would start them up and try to bulldoze at 16.
I don't remember doing it, but I remember Fast Bobby did. I remember he was the one that was kind of
the brave one, right?
He was the brave one.
Yeah.
We're like, I got to get out of here. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, we were nervous about that.
Yeah. We had a lot of bad influences. The only reason we got in trouble is because we were hanging around with the wrong people. We were very innocent.
We were.
Yeah.
We got caught at the wrong place. Wrong place at the wrong time.
Be careful who you hang out with.
Yeah.
When you're younger.
Could have been way worse. Could have been way worse.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you think about it. That's like you said. There was no Ritz-Carlton. We'd go to Vanderbilt Beach, and we just had to walk a couple hundred yards, and then there was nobody. Nobody would walk down that far to put their towels down or or hang out. So we would, as we said, Baron Collier would go and that would be our beach hangout. They'd walk a couple hundred yards, dig a hole in the sand, and
there was nothing there. You had your whole beach there. There was nobody because that whole no Pelican Bay, no Ritz, and then the Ritz came, and Ritz kind of put Naples on the map. Really, that was
brought everybody from everywhere.
Yeah, it was the big. Made Naples known, but we were there before. We helped clear that land. I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
we were good citizens. We were.
Yes.
So then we both kind of went our way after high school. I went to Tampa.
Yeah, I went back up to Michigan and finished college up there. And of course, we never stayed in touch because there was no cell phones.
Right.
And if I wanted to call you, I had to know when you were going to be home.
Yeah.
And it was long distance, so it cost money.
It was expensive too.
Yeah. Call long. I mean, I barely talked to my mom because long distance was expensive.
Yeah.
And then there was always the, he's not home. You get an answering machine, or if they even had answering machines back then.
Yeah, they came a little later.
So we never really stayed in touch because, except for once in a great while, we'd. I guess that was our first battleship experience. Trying to catch each other. It's like, oh, you got me. But
unless you planned a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Yeah.
So you went up there. You lived where? You went back to school up there. You lived in Ann Arbor?
No. When I first moved back up there, I lived, where did I think I lived, it was like Redford. There's another suburb of like right around Livonia.
Okay.
Like another suburb there. There's Redford, Inkster, Detroit. I lived in Detroit for a little bit. Had some different roommates and things. And then I lived in, after I got out of college, when I was working for UPS, lived in Madison Heights, in Walled Lake, South Lyon, all over the place.
So you had to pay for school because you didn't have
Oh yeah, we didn't. So I don't know if you remember this, but in high school, in order for my mom was getting my dad's Social Security benefits, and in order for her to keep getting it for me, to kind of help us out in living down there, I had to be enrolled in college because they were going to cut it off, any of the benefits, unless you were in college. If you're in college, you could keep getting benefits.
Yeah.
So I had to start taking college classes my senior year in high school, my last semester, the spring of '82.
They had that then.
Yeah. So I went to Edison and took a couple classes there. I had to be at least part-time. So they worked it out to where those Edison classes counted towards my high school credits as well. So, yeah, when I went to back up, and so nowadays, we plan things out for our kids, but my parents didn't go to college, and my older brothers and sisters that had gone to college weren't keeping in touch with us and, what we were doing. So I didn't even know how to, I remember taking the SAT. I didn't even know you had to. I think I was asking you or somebody else. And it's like, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm taking the SAT. Oh, yeah, what's that? I didn't know you had to
it wasn't all these prep.
And, it was all these prep things and stuff
Saturday
like that.
Study group. And,
none of that stuff going on. So but anyways, I ended up having to get financial aid. I was able to get Pell Grants too because we weren't making any money, didn't have any income, so qualified for Pell Grants, but it didn't pay for everything. So I got student loans.
To go to school up there.
In
Michigan.
And, but to pay for rent, and living expenses and stuff, my mom didn't support me after I moved out. So I had to get.
So you did that all on your own.
You were
on your own.
Yeah. I worked at a restaurant, a bar, and then I started working part-time at UPS.
To put yourself through school.
To put myself through school. Yeah. While everybody, and then, my buddy Glenn was at Michigan State, and another guy that I roomed with, Craig, they both stopped going to college. I don't know if it was like sophomore year or whatever, but I said, I've got to keep going through this, so I kind of pushed through and graduated. Took me longer, but. Was
Michigan the school it is now in terms of Michigan versus Michigan State? Like the smart kids go to Michigan? Isn't there that? It's always been that way as far as the two schools, but I didn't go to the Ann Arbor campus. I went to the party school was Michigan. The party school was State. The party school was State. Yeah. Yeah. And it was harder to get into Michigan, so that's why. Yeah. So why did you pick it? Well, because I grew up a Michigan fan. Well, my dad had season tickets, so we always watched Michigan football growing up. So I was like, got to go back up. Yeah. Especially after. It was in your blood all the way. Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't know about going to college. I didn't even think about going to college. Yeah. So that when it came time and we were graduating from high school, I'm like, well, if I'm going to go, I want to go up there, try and make it. But I shouldn't have, because they paid 3 times the tuition. Because by that time I was a Florida resident. Oh yeah. Because I graduated from high school there, so I was paying out-of-state tuition, which is stupid. I should have gone to Florida or, some other place. So, but it was in your blood, so you just so I just went up there. The hardest way possible that you could do, because you had to pay living expenses and out-of-state tuition and figure it out on your own. But you did that all on your own. I mean, and I kept saying, "Oh, I'll petition it," and then they'll have to because I lived 90% of my life in the state of Michigan. Why wouldn't they give me in-state tuition? And they never did. Really? Yeah. Wow. Even though I had lived there and never moved, He said, nope. So. Why did you choose? What did you do the difficult route to get yourself through school? Because I didn't know any better. I didn't have any information. There was no guidance. I had no guidance from anybody that said, "Hey, let's think through this." It's just more of you need to get a degree, and so that's what I did. And I had friends up there, so. It was tough when I left Michigan to come down here. And so I went back up there, but then those friendships weren't really there anymore anyway. So I kind of found myself, just up there, but not really enjoying it. I really enjoyed Naples in Florida. Yeah. Climate was better. I didn't like cold weather that much, but I found myself up there. And after I started working at UPS and stuff, it kind of clicked for me. But college was tough. And
I didn't get to experience the true college experience. That's why
because
I tell my kids, it's like, focus on school, experience the stuff that, going to college and, go to football games, go to, join a fraternity or whatever you want to do, but focus on school and don't worry about working, because that's what I did. I worked constantly, and there's times that I had to drop classes because I had to work more, and I had to, I couldn't handle the class load and be working the 2-3 jobs that I had.
But you had to work to pay for school and live.
In order to just live, make a car payment, pay car insurance.
Yeah.
So I never made long distance phone calls to you because it's like, no, that's too expensive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
I had to call you unless I got somebody's MCI card or something, and
the calling card where you dump in all the codes. Yeah. Call me on the 800 number. We used to have an 800 number here, 1-800-3-Salons.
Yeah.
Where we paid for the long distance. Yeah. I forgot about those. Does it even exist anymore? No.
Yeah.
So you finished school. Finish undergrad. Then what?
Then I was working at UPS offered me a full-time job, and I was doing industrial engineering or designing delivery routes for them, and then went into full-time operations management and stuff like that.
Industrial engineering, routing. This was computerized networks,
so,
right?
I kind of helped them. The package center that I worked at was one of the pilot centers in the nation for rolling out the computerized clipboard. So when I started working there, they were still recording package delivery on carbon paper and pen.
Wow.
And so every time they recorded something on the line, they had a piece of carbon paper, and there would be 2 copies. So one would go into they had a backup.
Yeah.
And then they rolled out the computerized clipboard, which was like 14 inches long and probably weighed 12 pounds, really top heavy.
Which
and
was
had this one little
revolutionary,
screen
though.
that you could,
but
you had to, no, you didn't
You
even
didn't
sign.
sign that digital. Oh, no. Okay.
No, did you sign? I'm trying to think. Did you
Maybe
sign?
later, I think they would have that. Do they have that now?
No, I think maybe you could sign something, but it wasn't on the screen.
No.
It was like on a pad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But you couldn't scan anything. There was no barcodes.
No.
You had to punch the address in.
Wow. And this was UPS was newer, no? Or they were not public at the time?
They weren't public. It was private.
Well, they've been around, but they were private.
They were expanding leaps and bounds, and that's when they came out. Like when I started working with them, they came out with Next Day Air. So that's when all the air deliveries, they started buying fleets of planes and all of that, and then it started getting more digital. And so we rolled out the computerized clipboard to our center, and our guys switched from the carbon paper and pen to computerized clipboard. So that was fun. That's what kind of got me into doing kind of that whole change management transformation stuff, because it was fun to kind of help people get through something tough. Right, because I was like, it's okay, just break it down.
Adapt to change. It was a big change.
Adapting to change. I mean, there was guys that had been UPS package car drivers longer than I had been alive at that point.
Wow.
And I was their manager.
Yeah.
And I had to tell them, you have to use the clipboard. Oh, I can't do it. I'm going to get carpal tunnels. Because they had to use their thumbs to kind of type in all the addresses instead of just writing it out. But it was fun because those same guys, after we got through it and got them trained and transitioned over, their clipboard would go down, and I go, oh yeah, I'll try to fix. No, you know what? Just go to carbon paper and pen for right now. I'll figure it out, and we'll see what's going on with your board, and I can't do my route on carbon paper and pen.
Can you go back?
I can't go back. Yeah, and I'm like, success.
Yeah,
I've obviously did something right.
Yeah.
So, but I like doing that kind of stuff.
Well, that had you thinking in that world, and that's where what had you say, well, I'm going to go back and get a master's. I want to go back to school and really specialize in this. What
I did that because at UPS, it was like, you don't just get to choose that. UPS, you had to work your way up. that's the mentality that, at least in Metro Detroit, they had that. It's like, no, you don't get to just jump to doing that kind of work. You got to work.
Even though you're already doing it.
Even though I was already doing it, I had the smarts to do it, and the skill to do it, and the ambition to do it, and all that stuff. It's like, no, you still have to work all these shifts and all these long hours and do all this other stuff instead of taking advantage of what I wanted to do. So, and in Metro Detroit, it was, a lot of fighting with the Teamsters, and there was some
union up there.
Oh, it was always been Teamsters.
Oh,
not just up there,
oh,
but in Metro Detroit, there was a lot of leaders, like division leaders.
But management was not union.
Management was not union.
Yeah.
So, but the senior leadership in Metro Detroit was like, they had gotten their positions like battlefield promotions. Like they were a package car driver, and all of a sudden, we're expanding. You're now a manager. They had no skills. They had never been to college. They had never managed people before. They just knew the business. They knew the routes. Mm-hmm. So you're now the division leader, and they're you're ex-military. Okay, we're going to make you. So that was their experience. So when it came to things not going well, their thing was, well, just ride them, make them, it's like everything, to a hammer, everything's a nail, right? So it's like, and they would tell me, I was like, okay, the time study's wrong. This guy is working, he's doing what he should do. He's following our procedures, but, he's never going to beat the route, the way it's calculated to, it should take you 8 hours to do it. Well, it's taking him 9 hours, ride him. Basically get him to quit. I'm like, so that's when I said, I don't have to.
Getting behind the why of that's not.
Yeah, why am I doing that?
But that was the culture.
Yes.
But your mind was going, well, let's why? Like, why is it that? Let's look behind what is there instead of hammering it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of I don't know, I guess I've kind of always had that problem solving, because I had to problem solve to make it through college. I had to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, I got to make $450 rent. How am I going to do that and pay for gas and, do all these things? I had to figure out how am I going to make it work. And so I was constantly trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And then when I was working part-time, I did like the preload stuff, which is loading the package cars. So I managed those people doing that. And so it was like trying to problem solve, like, oh, these packages don't fit on the truck. Oh, it's like, we got to move these, got to move rubber to Philadelphia packages, all these boxes, got to move it over to this other truck. So this guy we can fit all the other packages here, and we'll have somebody else go over to rubber to Philadelphia and do that. Or, so I had to do all that stuff on the fly. Mm-hmm. But that was like between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I would go to class. But I kind of learned to figure stuff out. So that's how I got it. And I kind of liked it.
You've always asked those probing questions, no matter what I'm bitching about over the years, too. Because it had me think of that this morning when you were sitting near the meeting that we had this morning, the conversation that we had. And I'm thinking, knowing that you're in the room and the problem came up, well, why can't we get them to just do this simple task of bring the ticket, of close the last part of the 6 steps of service? And for some reason, just your presence there had me think, well, why don't I ask that question? Yeah. Like, why is that not happening? Like, instead of just do it, everybody just do it.
Yeah.
Well, why? Why is it not happening? Because it had me think of that, just having you there, because I know that's how you think. It was subconscious, though. It wasn't a conscious thing. But then I asked that question, and then they started talking about it, and it became a conversation that is easier to solve. Like,
and then it's like, oh, we do it because it takes too long, or does it? Well, why does it take too long?
Yeah.
Well, it takes too long because I'm always doing this. Well, why are you doing that? That's not your job. So who's telling you have to do that? Well, I just figured I had to. Well, you don't need to do that. Yeah. So if you stop doing that, could you do the last 2 steps? Oh, yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the fun part. It's like, it's more of, that's when you have success with transformation, is when you get the other person to come up with the solution, even though you may know, like, you just need to do this instead of like me coming up with the solution, you coming up with the solution, then you feel good because you solved it. Yeah. Not me telling you need to do this. Yeah. Because then you go, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But if they come up with the solution, then they own it. They own the solution. So they're bought in because it's their idea.
Yeah.
You just help them get there.
So over the years, you've worked with that with many organizations and bringing that into, because organizations don't naturally have this sort of tool, or they don't think about things that way. But then in the last couple decades or so, right, they've been bringing in this operational way that people are somewhat resistant to, it seems like, or they're just not, it's different.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, people have their always way of listening and how they do things, you know, and they don't think outside the box because what's comfortable is what you're familiar with. And so they're resistant naturally to any kind of change because, you know, it's not the way I do it. It's not the way we do things around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, well,
yeah.
Nobody ever asks them, well, why don't you do it that way? You know?
Yeah.
And that's, but that's just human nature. We're to have that resistance to doing things differently.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times as you just ask why, like 3 or 4 times, you get to the root cause of like, why have you done it this way? Well, we had a client that was really upset one time. And so now we always make sure we do these extra 3 steps. It's like, oh, okay. And that worked for that client? Yeah. Okay. And so you do that for every client? It's like, yeah, we do that for every client now. Does every client like get upset to where you have to do those? No. It's like, oh, okay. Well, so is that client still here that you did that for? No, they're gone. It's like, but you still do the 3 steps, the extra 3 steps. It's like, so do you really need to do that? No, I guess we don't.
Yeah.
But we just always done it that way. And we never really thought about changing it or how inefficient it was.
Yeah. And these inherited practices that just go on. And people don't even know the why behind.
Nope.
Why are we doing
it
that?
Cynic that said, start with the why? Peter
Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek.
Yeah. Start with the why. Yeah, that's a good one. But
it's the same thing. It's like when you're problem solving, it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Or what are we trying to solve? You know, everybody's all upset. Well, what are we upset about? What are we actually trying to solve here?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people start to solve things and they don't even know what they're trying to solve. They just know people are upset and things aren't working. It's like, well, let's try this. Let's try that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what are we trying to solve? Is that really the problem or is it something else? And you find out it's something totally unrelated that you have to solve.
So you got to see a lot of dysfunction in a lot of different organizations at different sizes and levels. And you got to experience the dysfunction, but also then work on implementing change and then deal with the resistance of even the CEO who says, yeah, we want this, but we don't want that.
Right.
We'll take a little bit of it, but not all of it.
Yeah.
Or some of the...
Yeah. So it'd be either a department or, you know, as small as like an individual process, which is much easier because you just have one little process owner and they're like, oh, thank you for fixing my accounts receivable process or whatever it is. It's like, yeah, this is so much better. I didn't realize we were doing that. And, you know, they get it and it's faster. But when you go to an organization, it's like, why are our implementations taking so long? And you got to look at the whole implementation process that involves, you know, 5 different departments and so forth. Those are harder changes because you have to, each of those departments have their leaders and their way of doing things. But you're trying to implement change for the whole company to improve the cost effectiveness of the implementation organization as a whole. You know, how much time are we, how long does it take for us to implement a customer into our system, right? But in order to solve it, you have to look at the parts that build up to it. Like it's like your 6-step process or whatever you've got. You know, if you were looking at it and you said, guys, I want you to do this much faster, it's taking too long. You know, there's serving you as a client, like I want it to be faster, but then, you know, when you analyze it and you say, okay, well, it's taking step 1, you do this, step 2, you do this, and each step there's an owner and you have to convince them of the change in their step. It's like, well, in step 3, we really, you know, we need you to do it this way because it's taking too long to do step number 3. And so you got to convince that person. You got to convince all the people along the way that the changes, they have to work together because the ultimate goal is to shrink the process from 1 to 6 to make it more efficient, because that's what our customer feels. Our customer feels the 1 through 6. They don't care about step 3.
Yeah.
They don't care how long it takes you, or the fact that you want to put extra love into step number 3. And I get it that you love your step number 3, but the customer feels 1 through 6. So how do we work together to make 1 through 6 as a team that way? And that's hard sometimes, because you've got all the different egos that are going on at different levels, and the politics of it all, which is the part that kind of got it burned me out, the politics of it all, because I could see the possibility of what could be. Yeah. And the politics got in the way of other people seeing the possibility and truly what it is that we're working for. They had a different why than what the company did, or what I had to help the company. Yeah. And their why got in the way of solving the true problem. And they purposely or subconsciously would sabotage the transformation. Yeah. Because of their fears. And sometimes when you're the outsider trying to explain that to people, they shore up their defenses. Yeah. So. Well,
and this is at every size company too, because you work for some big companies. I mean, ADP, Ceridian, First Data, big companies, like at a high level. Mm-hmm. But it exists in every culture. There's some version of that.
Yeah. But the fun part of doing that type of work is that you get to see the possibility and actually get them, and the lights go off and people go, oh, this is so much better. This is great, Yeah. But, I always kind of describe it. It's like, it's kind of like the business side of HGTV. Oh, this is a great fixer-upper. This house has so much possibility. Yeah. If you just change the front yard and you knocked out this wall and did this, and it's like it would be so much better. Yeah. And it's the same thing in business. It's like, well, if you just change this process, you did this, it would just be so much more efficient. Customers would be so much happier. And then when you do it, you do the big reveal, it's like, wow, look at how much better things are.
Yeah. It's an area that I don't think is well known, because we'll have somebody come in and do a rah-rah, which is not the same thing. This is like doing a root canal on the culture of the business in a way that will transform the business by how it operates. Like not seeing things that they didn't know that exist. Yeah.
So there's 2 different ways companies can do it. So you can go to like the big, it's a big 6, big 8. How many different the Deloittes, the McKinsey's, Price Waterhouse, all those big firms, Bain Consulting, and all those expensive firms. They'll come in and say, well, we're going to tell you how to do this, and this is the change that you need to make and you need to implement because we know best, and all that stuff. There's that type of expert consulting, or you can be a process consultant. So basically you take them through the change to where, like I described earlier, they're the change agent. So they're bought in. And so you're teaching them, it's like teaching them to fish. Instead of just saying, here's your new process, you're going to do it. And then they leave and they go, okay, we're just going to go back to do it the old way. Yeah. Because that's what we're familiar with. And we're just doing it because the boss, the leader du jour, the new CEO or the new SVP that's here, he'll be gone in another year and a half. He's going to climb the ladder and he'll be gone. We'll go back to doing it the old way. That's not the kind of transformation that I like to, be a part of, because that's all about making money and greed. And there's nothing wrong with making money. Yeah. But it's so much more satisfying if you actually help somebody or help a company through that transformation to where they're better because of it. And they actually are better leaders and managers because now they start asking why. Yeah. Like, are we measuring the right thing? Yeah. It's like the call centers. It's like, well, we got to reduce our length of our phone calls. We got to be under a minute. Our customer service calls are too long. They're going 3 minutes, 5 minutes long and stuff. But that's not what you should measure, is the length of call. It's the customer satisfaction. So if it takes 3 to 5 minutes to educate your customer, that's better than having the call done quicker. Yeah. So then you train your agents. If you measure it, it's like get off the phone call. They're like trying to hurry up and just give them an answer and get off the phone because that's what they're being measured on.
Yeah.
So you end up incenting the wrong behavior or the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that was proven. That particular thing was proven by Tony Hesh and Zappos with their call center, because they were by phone and before it was as much mail order. But his incentive, what he said was not get them off the phone, get to know them, and he allowed them to have an experience with the person on the phone.
Yeah,
talk to them about the weather,
right?
Or get to know who they are as a human, and it gave them a name on the planet that no other mail order company ever had, where you could call somebody, talk about football on the other end. They give them the latitude to do whatever they needed to do to build a relationship with a customer. And they had the resounding, he sold the company for, $1 billion because he built this culture around taking care of the guest, not the metric of get the order, get them off the phone.
And that's the thing about the work that I ended up doing with all these companies. It's what's the voice of the customer, not the voice of the business. It's like you can focus on the voice of the business, what's efficient and cost effective for the company, because you got to make money, you got to satisfy your shareholders, but they're not the true customer. The customer is who's paying the bills. So you have to make sure the customer is satisfied, and that those things change constantly. So you think about buying cars. Like when you and I started driving, it's like, man, if you could have air conditioning, I'd be really satisfied. Now it's a given. You got to have air conditioning, right?
Yeah, air conditioning
or power windows.
It was like
right?
an option. Yeah, power windows and air conditioning.
It was an option, or navigation.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have a big screen that's 12 inches, the people are going, I don't want that car.
Yeah.
Their customer expectations change. They're not a static thing. So you constantly have to be thinking about what the customer experience is all about and not think that you know what it is. It's like Disney. The reason Disney was so good because they understood that, okay, who's our customer? Well, our customer is a mom and a dad with a 7 and an 8-year-old, maybe 4 of them, and they're, trying to figure out, I got to drive in there, I got to park, I got to remember where to park, I got to get them to, how do I get, so you create that experience. And I always tell this story in trainings is that they, the reason they named the parking lots, like this is Donald Duck lot number 8, because it's easy to remember. It's not just we're in lot number 8, whatever. We're in Donald Duck number 8, because it's part of the experience. So when your parents come back after being all day at the Magic Kingdom, they're like, "Where did we park?" It's not. They may not remember it, but the kids will.
Of course,
the kids are going to go, "We're in Donald Duck number 8," because they're into it, and so it's like, okay, that's the experience. So you want to make, and they had a whole division on parking lots, and the efficiencies of that. Because that's your last experience with them. Your last customer contact was them leaving the park.
First and last. You're coming in, you're pretty much.
And so they'd analyze, like, why are people frustrated? Well, I got out to my car and I left my lights on. Now I got a dead car, battery and everything. They had, all right, we got somebody that comes out, they'll start your car. They had all that ready, fully staffed, ready to go. But the other thing they did with remembering where you parked was they set it like when you got picked up in the little tram.
Yeah.
When they dropped you off at the tram. Yeah. They kept saying, remember when you come back, this is Donald Duck number 8.
Yeah. Part of the experience.
It's part of the experience. So, but a lot of times we focus on the greed of it all and how are we going to make more money. So let's cut that out. Let's cut those parking lot people out.
Yeah.
So, and I think, the whole Elon Musk thing now with the Doge, it's the same thing, but you need to make sure you're asking the why or what's the true, why are we doing this? And I think all that stuff that he did as far as cutting out expenses, there's a lot of fat in those processes. So, all that's good, but you got to make sure that you're not cutting too deep or not focusing on like, who's this really going to impact?
Yeah.
But that's now when people ask like, what kind of work did you retire from? It's like, continuous business transformation. And it's like, and I'm like, the stuff, the Doge stuff, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it is that, but you got to think about it. There's much more to it than just like cutting things, which is what most of the media says that Doge was doing. We're just cutting stuff. It's like, no, thinking about what's really important and making sure that we have that money available to spend doing something else.
That's such a great representation of it. I think that's a perfect example of what that is, because he went in asking why. Mm-hmm. Why do you keep the record? Why can we not let somebody retire quickly? Well, because we have this antiquated system of we can't get the records.
They're stored in a mine
They're
in
stored in a
Pennsylvania.
mine. Yeah. He asked why. Well, why? Well, that's because of the way we always did it. But why? Well, that's pre-computer that came up. Like the why questions were what he was asking.
Well, that was the safest place to store paper materials, was in a mine that was climate controlled. And actually, it's the company that did that for the government is Iron Mountain. And I worked for Iron Mountain. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I knew exactly what they were talking about when that came on TV. It's like, that's Iron
fascinating.
Mountain.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was part of
and that's why it's called Iron Mountain, because it all started in the caves.
Yeah. Well, isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
That's wild. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But that's literally what he was doing, I mean, in some regard, like why are we doing this? And it's not, those questions never got asked of government. They just keep doing it that way. Like they never got it.
And the defensiveness that you heard of from politicians or leaders or people in those organizations, the resistance that they met was because this is the way we do things. You can't just come into and it's like, now they may have done it quickly because they had a short time frame and not have tried to change the culture so much. But sometimes you got to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
When it's that bad, you have to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And I'm for that approach also, but it needs to be a situation like they came into, where there's so much waste going on that you just kind of say, okay, we're starting over. Because this is so inefficient. We're not going to use the caves anymore. We're going to design something new. Yeah. We're not going to try and fix the existing process. We're going to design a whole new one.
Yeah.
That's modernized and, going to meet the customer's needs, which is let somebody retire quickly.
Yeah. That's what they want. Yeah. Yeah. And there's so much of that just over time there's never been a process to make it better. Or to look at the customers.
Well, the thing is like we need to be doing that as human beings in every part of our life. And we need to be okay with saying, is there a better way?
Yeah.
And you may come out and say, yeah, there is a better way, but I'm not ready to do it yet. And this is why. Because that certainly happens a lot too in business too, is, you can say, all right, we should do it this way.
Yeah.
Well, you have to say, well, what's the cost and what's the benefit of making that change?
Yeah.
When you do a lot of the transformation work is based on the the Toyota or GE philosophy. Depends on how far back you go. Is the Six Sigma? Well, Six Sigma is a statistical calculation, but not everybody should get to Six Sigma because it would be too cost prohibitive. It's
what is that? A Greek? What term is that? What is
it's a statistical
mathematical thing?
Yeah.
Six Sigma.
Six
Sigma.
Yeah. Number 6.
I've heard it, but I never knew what it was.
Like you can be at 3.5 sigma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's the amount of variation in your process. Okay. So you're measuring the standard deviation from just in your statistical process. So how much variation do you have in your process? How much is acceptable? So like there's certain processes you can, call handle time. Yeah, we're never going to get to 6 because 6 is, in other words, 6 sigma is really 99.9999% accurate all the time. that percentage of accurate. Whereas like a 3 Sigma, I don't remember the chart, but maybe 75% or 80%. And in some processes, like hey, if we're answering the question when people call in to our call center 80% of the time, that's good. To try to get to 99.999% would be, you'd have to, do all kinds of crazy investments and have more people, or, have, AI bots and different things. It's like, okay, for our business, it's not necessary. But if you're a pilot and you're landing a plane, better be Six Sigma. You don't want to have that, not you. You want to have 99.99% time that they're going to land the plane correctly.
Yeah.
You can't go with 75% of the time. You're going to, 80% of the time, we're going to land this plane without crashing.
That sucks.
That's not good.
No.
Or surgeries. How many times are you going to fail at surgery? Well, it better be pretty darn close to Six Sigma. So, but there's certain things it's like, it's not feasible to expect that level of efficiency.
So that was some
Getting
organizations.
technical.
Some organizations were looking for that, but because I remember this at the Ritz-Carlton before they were bought by the Marriott. They won the Malcolm Baldrige Award, and Six Sigma they
Methodology.
won. Yeah, there was. I remember them hearing that from them because we had our salon there, and we were a part of their culture, and that was one of the terms I remember them throwing around, Six Sigma.
Yeah.
In their excellence, or their quest for excellence, but I
Right.
never knew what it really was. I didn't understand the term or what it meant. Heard it, and I knew you were working a lot with it, but I didn't know what it really meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's overused. It's in a lot of times you go to people who have been at big companies. They hear, "Oh, you're so you're going to be the head. You're the guy that's going to cut the jobs."
Oh, you're the Elon Musk.
Yeah, they thought it was like, oh, okay. Well, if you're doing Six Sigma, that means this project's we're going to end up getting a lot of layoffs because that's how companies become efficient. It's like, no, not. There may be some of that, but sometimes you get to repurpose those people that were doing those extra 3 steps to do these other things that are new and innovative, and can do things that are more meaningful for our clients as opposed to those wasteful steps.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you faxing something? This is obviously a very old example, but one of the things that I learned, or I did not learned, but I problem solving at UPS was we had back in the day. Remember CODs?
Oh yeah, see, you gotta have a check. Milt's coming. Gotta have a check for Milt.
Yeah. So the
Delivering our
UPS
CFI
driver
products.
comes. They have these packages. They're cash on delivery, COD. So the driver would go, "Here's the package, but you got to give me a check before I can leave the package with you." Well, I had this one driver who worked. They had their stop was a classic car automotive restoration place. So they were ordering parts from all over the place. And so they would have 10 to 25 COD packages a day. And the driver would have to go there and they would go to take it to the lady in the office instead of just the shipping counter and drop them off and leave. All right. And she'd look at, no, I don't want that one. Send that one back. We found something better. Don't want that one. Don't want this one. Okay, and then she'd write the check. And you have to wait and write the check out, a full, checkbook. And so he'd sit there waiting, unproductive. And so I go, okay, well, what's slowing him down? Well, he's waiting. So I had the guy that was loading the packages. I said, any COD packages you have for this car place, put them over here on the outside the truck. Don't load them yet. Put them on the grate over here. And I would come in every morning and pull the part that could come off because the 2 sides would stay on it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You pull the label off. Take them over to a copy machine and make a copy of, like, I could get maybe 6 on a page, and make all the copies of the labels, and then I'd fax them to the company.
So they could be ready.
So they'd be ready. So
Yeah.
by the time the driver got there, they were like going, yep, don't want this one, don't want this one, and here's the checks.
Nice.
And they were done.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
now,
Yeah.
you know, like your package is going to be delivered between 1 and 2, and
Yeah.
they don't have CODs anymore. They don't handle money.
Right. That stopped. Yeah.
But that's how do you make it a process more efficient?
Yeah.
So that's something I did, and that's, you know, it was like, and then every center that was in that building with me was like, okay, we got to do that for all of our COD customers.
Yeah.
Get in and out. And the days that I didn't work, the driver was like, oh,
It wasn't prepped. They
weren't ready.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't a standard process. It was just something that I had done. But
the drivers had to love you for that. Man,
Yeah.
that'd be great for them. Yeah.
win them over quick.
Yeah.
Make
I
your
remember-
life easier. But that's what a manager or a leader should do. Is look, how can I help you?
Yeah. Serving your team. Yeah.
You know, why is it so hard? So when I would go out ride with drivers, instead of going, you got to go faster, I'd go, what's the hardest part of the day? Well, I got to wait for all these damn CODs, and I'm not going to make it. We're supposed to go to a concert tonight with my wife, and it's our anniversary. And it was like,
Yeah.
oh, let me see how I can help you.
Yeah.
So
That's like full circle coming all the way back because that's so in your DNA. I remember when you introduced me to The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, the book by Dan Millman. But it wasn't just the book, because it was also kind of the weird stuff that I thought you were doing. It was different. And I was intrigued by it because you were just doing things different. You're just doing life different. Remember when you went out west? You just left and went on this quest, to the other side of the country. And it was just, what's he doing? What are you doing? You just had a different way of looking at life.
That was me asking the why for my own life.
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
It's got to be more to life. And, reading that book, and I'm sure a lot of people have read that book, and it kind of changed their life, especially if you're, working constantly.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, am I just going to be bleeding brown blood the rest of my life and having to work my way up this ladder? And yeah, I'll make a lot of money, but I'm looking at all these leaders and like, okay, he's divorced, he's an alcoholic,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want that.
His kids don't love him.
His kids don't love, he's got,
they don't even know him.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, and trying to find something else and do something different. And this is before I learned how to do all this stuff. It was just, like you said, part of my nature to kind of ask those questions. And there was something inside of me that just said, I got to do something different. So, but that book, made you think, no ordinary moments, no, stay present, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't let things bother you.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Enjoy nature and stuff like that. So that's when I left UPS, I took that sabbatical and drove to Alaska for a summer.
Yeah.
Drove up there.
Drove to Alaska.
Yeah. Well, I drove from Michigan to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and met some people there. And just along the way, I had a Ford Explorer when Ford Explorers just came out. I was like, they were cool cars,
Yeah.
Put my mountain bike, my tent, my camping gear in there, and drove to Albuquerque, and then drove up up the U.S. Rockies, Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and then up through the Canadian Rockies and Banff.
This is in the day of paper maps.
Yeah.
Where you had to highlight where you were going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no Google Maps.
No. And you had to buy the section of the country that you were going to drive in.
Yeah.
You didn't even have the
full
whole thing.
glove box.
Yeah, the glove box.
Or
full
an
of
atlas.
maps.
Or an atlas that had,
Yeah. Before even TripTik on AAA, you had to actually look for signs and look for the roads and watch.
But my oldest brother, lived in Alaska and living there for 30 years or whatever. And I had been in touch with him and talking to him and kind of consulting with him about just kind of what was going on. And he goes, yeah, you can come up here. So I drove up there. It took me about a month or something to drive up there. And I drove the Alpine Highway through the Yukon Territory and all the way up there. And then I spent the summer up there with him.
So you had saved enough money to be able to do this because there wasn't gig work. You couldn't pick up an Uber Eats
UPS
shift.
paid pretty good.
Oh, okay. So and you'd save money. Yeah. Okay.
So
you had a little bit of a nest egg to live off of.
And because I was working all the time, I never really spent it on anything.
Right. Yeah, you were real resourceful.
Other than my rent and stuff like that. Plus, I learned to be pretty frugal about buying stuff for myself because paying my way through college was like, okay, you can't afford, I can get by with, worn out soles on my shoes or whatever. I'd wait until the last possible minute.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of money that I was saving. And so I said, I'm going to do this. And I knew I wanted to go to grad school because I like that industrial engineering problem solving part. And I wanted a job like that at UPS, but they were like, nope, you got to kind of go through this process. This is not how we do things here, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go to grad school. And at first I thought I was going to go into industrial engineering, and I kind of got into that a little bit, but I just found a program that kind of fit my needs at the time that was very similar to, helping, going through organizational change and transformation. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I took that year off, traveled, camped, hiked, went salmon fishing all summer long.
I don't think at the time I realized, because you couldn't look at the globe in a way. You'd only just look at a map. I just didn't realize how big Alaska was, I think. And now you can, in Google Earth, you can see, like, it's a huge state.
It's 3 times the size of Texas.
That's crazy. And you got to drive up through Canada to get to, it's a big deal. It's not like some little, driving to Georgia from here.
Yeah. But it's kind of cool because you meet a lot of new people along the way too, which broke me out of my shell too of, meeting new people and doing new things. And so that was all new for me. So it was all part of my own personal growth doing that.
Yeah.
I was 27, something like that.
Yeah.
It's like John Denver. I was born in the summer of my 27th year.
Yeah, you play guitar too. Yeah.
But anyways, I remember I was on the Alcan Highway and just, all right, well, I got to pull over, and I don't want to set up the tent because I don't know if there's, just didn't want to do it. So I kind of slept in the truck, and I got up the next morning and this big motorhome had pulled in. People drive motorhomes across the country, and they pull a car and that kind of thing. So these people saw me getting out, and I was setting up my Coleman stove to make some coffee and something to eat. Mm-hmm. And, they said, hey, come on in. Got to meet them. They invited me in, talked to them about their travels and all stuff like that. And, it was fun.
What's crazy to me is now people do that and make money up because they make YouTube videos while they're doing that.
Yeah.
They make lots of money. It's a business for them.
Yeah.
They could do their passion and make a living doing that. What you were doing then, where there was you couldn't carry a beta camera around. You had nowhere to post it anyway.
Yeah. And they didn't have video cameras.
Yeah.
Back then.
No, even cell phones. Nothing.
Old.
Yeah. Well, we're all alive in that era. That was you talk about transformation and life changing. Yeah. But you've always kind of had that in you, and it's followed you all along the way, because even as a husband, as a father, you've sort of led the way. You've broken the mold. You've done things that most people wish they would do, but don't ever do. And they have a regret about it. And that's like how you've raised your family and how you've put family first and how you've been.
Well, the biggest thing, as we're talking about it, I think that event in my life, doing that, made me realize, and I, compare myself to my wife, Pam, or anybody, a lot of other people that I have that maybe they don't have, is that experience. And what that experience taught me is that even though I quit, I didn't know what job I was going to have. I didn't know what was going to happen after I did that. And I took that leap, but I have lived through it. And now I realize it's all going to be okay. It does, the worry of like, well, I can't do that because what will I do for a job, or what, where will I live, and what's my life going to be? It's like, I can't leave this job. Mm-hmm. I can't make this change, even though I kind of feel calling to do that. Having been through it, which is easy to say, I know it's going to be fine. Yeah. It'll all work out. God has a plan, right? So if I hadn't done that, and I had stayed in Michigan and just worked at UPS, life would have been good. I'd have been really good, because they went public.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of incentives for you to do that. Yeah, because they were paying well.
There.
And yeah.
But I wouldn't have met Pam.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have my 2 kids. Wouldn't have the experience of, embracing the outdoors and doing those kind of things. And the biggest thing, like I said, is not having the not confidence, or just the experience of saying it'll be fine. This too shall pass, or, think of any number of other sayings, but just the experience and the confidence of knowing that it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right. If anything, it's opening up new things and possibilities to where, I still worry about things. I've got kids, so I worry about things. It's, when you bring a life into the world and you have a family, you worry about things. But I also don't let things get to me to the point, like other jobs that I've had.
Yeah.
I don't let it get to me that much. I know that, fine, or I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to spend more time working on this PowerPoint presentation or whatever. However it ends up, it ends up.
Yeah.
And more times than not, in those situations when I've kind of made that decision to say I'm not working on it anymore, or I'm not going to do it, I'm going to spend time with my kids instead.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to that soccer game to my son, or that lacrosse game for my daughter. And I don't say, I can't do it. Then it turns out that that meeting I was preparing for got rescheduled. Like it was meant to be. So I didn't, if I had stint and then worked on it and stayed up late hours and missed my kids' events, and then they rescheduled it, I would have felt even worse.
Yeah.
Because I put all this time and effort towards it. And, but, you just kind of have confidence in your own ability. It's like, I know what I'm talking about. I don't need to work on this anymore. Or it's not in the big picture. As Dan Millman, we were kind of reminiscing about that earlier today. The juggling, the oranges, the eggs, and the blowtorch.
Yeah.
Like when you throw the blowtorch in there, you go like, oh, I got to, But the important things like the eggs, you drop those. You don't want to drop the important things in life. So I've learned try not to drop the important things in life and just focus on things that are really important, like my family, and know that other things are going to work out. And people don't always understand that. They think, "You nuts? Why did you do that? Why did you leave this? Or why did you make that decision?"
Yeah.
But as long as I'm okay with it, and it's for the important things in life that you can't get back.
Well, being there for your kids. I mean, nobody ever says on their deathbed, I wish I would have worked more. I wish I would have made more meetings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to, know that I know that you will never have that regret, because I see who you are for your children. I see, how you raise them. I've witnessed it. I've also witnessed what you put first, because I'll never forget for my life how you selflessly uprooted your life from your family and came here when Michelle was sick, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know whether she was going to live. I didn't know what was going to happen. You came and stopped everything you were doing in life and came here, and literally you weren't even allowed in the hospital. I was in the hospital with her and you weren't allowed in. You sat in the car and waited to serve me whatever we needed in a freaking car at the hospital for hours outside. Do you need anything? Do you need anything? How's it going? Selflessly. Like that to me that was something that my father-in-law talked about. He said, that's some kind of friend you have. That's not ordinary. That's your friend. He could not understand that a human would do that. And to me, that was like at a time where I was at my lowest. I was terrified. I don't know what was going to happen to Michelle. I didn't know at the time.
And I could
it was so
sense
scary.
that. I couldn't, when you're like, this just happened and we don't know what's going on, and I don't know. I'm like, I couldn't imagine what you were going through. There's no way I could imagine, you know, I'm like,
People will send a text and say, what do you need? Like, how can I help? I'm here for you. And they'll send a text, and people don't know what to do in those situations. You just got on a plane and came. You just got here. And because you don't know I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to ask for. I didn't even know what I needed.
yeah. And then and then you finally like responded to one of my texts later in the day. And I was like, you guys need anything, you know, and you're like, well, no, you don't need to come down here. And I'm like, I'm right out here in the parking lot. You're like, you're what? I'm like, I'm going to go over to Wynn's and get some food and bring it up so you can have some normal food and it's not hospital food and stuff. And then when they were going to transfer her up to Tampa. Yeah. Pam helped me because she was on the computer and we had Marriott points and stuff like that. And we found a place for everybody to stay.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Up in Tampa
We're
and drive up
transferring
there.
Michelle by ambulance to Tampa General.
And I had to meet your sister. I had to meet Audrey to get some keys Mike's sunglasses, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. Because you drove up separate, right?
I drove up separate, and then we
were following the ambulance. We took two cars up, right?
Yeah. And I think you and I stayed in a room, and then
at that hotel,
Michelle's parents,
in Tampa,
had a room, and stuff, and
however many days that was.
Yeah.
Wow, that was just like Mike never stopped talking about that. I mean, till the day he died, he just thought that was just something he had never witnessed in his life. And you know,
you made a big impact on my life too. I mean, my acceptance here in Naples, and just best man at my wedding, introducing me to my wife.
Yeah,
there's some big things there.
Yeah.
And if you think about, I don't have a lot of friends because Pam and I spend a lot of time with our family, trying to build our family and so forth. So we didn't have a lot of extracurricular kind of, friend groups and things like that we did a lot with, because we kind of learned how to survive on our own, just making sure that our kids were going to grow up and be good adults and have a safe life. But you were always there. You always, like, when I would go through tough times and making those decisions and stuff, you would help remind me of the times like, well, you did this, you did that. And I'm like, yeah, I forgot about that guy. So, and I thought about that as you were talking. It's like, one thing I want to make sure, as we're talking about this, it's not like I'm this, oh, you're such a perfect person, you so strong and everything. Every day we all battle what's that other voice in our head. And that other voice in our head always tries to tell it, no, that trip that you did, that sabbatical, that thing you did, that's nothing. That's, anybody could do that. That's, you're nothing. You're not worthy. And, those things always go through our heads, everybody. The best CEO, whatever. It's how you handle that. And having a good friend like you helps during times like that, when you can kind of say, yeah, I'm going through this. And you kind of help remind me that, you faced adversity before. This is nothing, but we all have that battle every single day. In this new book that I'm reading now, what's it called? You got to help me find that. What I did it on the questionnaire. What was the? Oh, I got it here because I'm still listening to it. I'm not reading it. I'm listening to it.
It still counts.
Michelle.
It's the new era. It counts.
It's like it still counts. Yes. Michelle giving you a hard time. You're just like, you're not reading it. You're listening to it.
Yeah. I got discounted my efforts.
Mm-hmm. I will find it here in a second, real quick. Winning the War in Your Mind is the name of the book.
Winning the War in Your Mind. Okay,
Winning
good.
the War in Your Mind.
That was going to be that was one of my questions anyway. I was going to ask
Change your thinking, change your life.
Winning the War in Your Mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got to put that on the list because that's literally one of the questions that's coming.
What's great about it too is it's biblical, because God says, do not fear. Right? What does that mean? But he goes through different verses of how, there's the conversation in our head of, we should have faith, not worry. And and just what that all means as far as the stories of you're not good enough or whatever. How can God made you in His image? How can you not be good enough? So it goes through a lot of, and I've really enjoyed it. Actually, Pam started listening to it too, and we actually listened to it together when we were on our little trip out west. And it's a good book. You got to put it on your list.
Yeah.
You got credits, right?
I got 12 left this year. I buy a bunch for the year instead of monthly. I just buy the whole year worth. Yeah, I got a lot. I have plenty to listen to, but I'll put that on for sure, because just in hearing you say that, because one of the things that I feel so blessed being in Michelle's life, that she's given me a level of faith that I never had or never knew was possible. But her mother would always say to me whenever I was in the throes of something that I felt was treacherous or there was no way to come back from, whether it was a hurricane or the pandemic or whatever, how are we going to survive this? She would smile and say, have faith. God's got you. There will be a way. Like, she didn't have an answer for me, but she had that. And that gave me comfort. The way she would say, you'll always have what you need, in a way like that God has you. You're like, you don't understand that God is
not what you think you need, but what God says knows what you need.
Yes.
A lot of people hear that and say, God will give you what you need. And it's like, well, where's my $1 million? Where's my, I want that new car. And it's like, God's not giving me what I need. It's like, that's not what God thinks you need.
Yeah.
Says you need to serve His will. You need to have a challenge.
Yeah.
To grow.
Yeah.
You need to have, I saw something, I think it was Morgan Freeman had this clip. I saw this clip of him saying, be careful what you pray for. God, give me courage. God doesn't give you courage. He gives you the opportunity to be courageous. So, He's going to keep putting that in front of you where you have to be courageous because you want to be courageous. You've prayed for that. So He's going to give you an opportunity to be courageous, right? So He doesn't give you the things you pray for. He gives you the opportunity to achieve that by giving you the experiences or putting you in a situation. Some people sometimes wonder why something keeps happening over and over and over again to me. Why does this keep happening? Because you're not learning the lesson that God wants you to learn. You're not seeing the lesson. You're seeing it as something's happening to me, as opposed to what am I supposed to learn from this? And when you say this is, when you start to ask that question, again, back to asking questions, why? Why did this happen to me? Why did somebody die? Or why did this tragedy happen? Right? Because, people will say, why does God make bad things happen? It's like, no, it's, there's things happen and they happen for a reason. And it's usually, any of those challenges or adversities are things to help you grow as a person. And you see how many people have become, lost the ability to walk, and they are so successful, or inspirational, right? It's because they've taken on that challenge and say, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to do with this? As opposed to, God's not good. Yeah. Yeah. It's so easy to go there. Yeah. And we still do, even, so that's the thing about human nature is like, we can sit here and talk about it and say, it sounds like I'm being so, so intelligent and philosophical and like really have a handle on things, but I can walk out that door and those same doubts and concerns and questions still pop into my head because I'm human. Right. And that's why they say, keep the faith, because as you kind of keep coming back to it. Yeah. And that's why they say, read the Bible or go to a small group or go to church, whatever, because it keeps God in your life. Yeah. And as soon as you say, things are going great, I don't need to, you stop doing that. That's when the evilness comes into your life, and you don't know how to handle situations because God's not right there for you to kind of lean on. How quickly He's right there. Yeah. But you forget that He's right there. Yeah. Ready to, and it's not like a physical there. It's His word of like how to be, how to live. Yeah. The whole Dan Millman stuff is more, it's not Christian, but it's more of like a universal principle, be present, be in the moment. Those are very similar things to, that God wants us to do.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's just a different way of kind of thinking about it. But it's all the same principles.
Yeah.
So it's all about being peaceful, right? The peaceful warriors, Jesus was very peaceful. He was the original peaceful warrior.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, one of the books I read recently was talking about Jesus, and in that regard, it was around being present, and it was around how not present we are in society today, because we're constantly bombarded with things that are taking us away from the moment, whether it's a phone, a message, or something on your watch that pulls you away from the moment. And one of the analogies in there was, could you imagine when Jesus was being called back? He was on a mission to go wherever he was going. And along the way, somebody stopped and said, Jesus, I need your help. Can you help pray? Can you help heal? Can you help me with this person? Jesus would never say, not right now. I got an appointment. I got to get to it.
Yeah, exactly.
He was present in the moment. He'd have time. He'd get to what he needed to. But at the same time, he was there to do whatever he was there to do in that moment. There was never a minute where he was, I got an appointment. I got to get over there. And, being
was
present.
that the book, The Ruthless Pursuit of Hurry?
Yes, that was. Yeah. And I love that book. That was transformational. Yeah.
You know who, Ben, my son, told me about that book, and he's constantly reminding me, like, I'll let you go because I can tell you're trying to do something. He always says there's no such thing as multitasking. Yeah. Because you're not present if you're trying to do more than one thing at a time. Yeah. And, women will say, oh, we're the master of multitasking, but wouldn't brag on that because it means you're not fully present. We'll say we can be fully present in multiple things, and you can't. Yeah. If you've got more than one thing to think about, you're not fully present. Right. So if you're constantly looking at your watch or your phone or whatever, so it's, Ben would always say, quit taking pictures, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the moment. Yeah. And it was like, we want to remember it. And it's like, yeah. So he's a good teacher.
He's wise. He's an old soul. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of why I love this, because it is an opportunity to be present with another soul that does not exist on the planet. So over the last year, we've done 30 something of these, Zach. How many? 30?
Oh, wow.
This is 30. We've done 33 of these. Some of them 2 to 3 hours with sometimes somebody I'd never met. It's the first time we meet. And to sit and be present with another soul for 2 to 3 hours doesn't exist in the world. Like it doesn't. Like it just doesn't happen because we just don't design life like that ever. Right. But to be this level of present, even our conversation, learning things about you who I've known my whole life, and hearing things that you've said that I had no idea that opened a world for me, but that level of present, because there's nowhere else where you're this level of present. Phones are off. Nobody's bothering us. There's just this conversation. It's a forced conversation. It's forced presence in a way that doesn't exist.
Well, I'm glad you did this too, because I was telling Zach as we were getting started here, is like, usually when I come to visit, we're visiting Pam's family. When I'm down here, and you and I, we'll go to lunch, but or when we call each other, you're on your way to the salon or somewhere, or I'm on the way to, run an errand or doing something, and we talk for a little bit, but we never get this much time to talk. Yeah. Like even last night, sitting at your house, like me being able to stay at your house and not at my in-laws. Yeah. Just having that extra time to talk, we don't have that. We don't take the time, and I'm grateful that you thought of this idea to have me to do this. Yeah. One, I wanted to kind of learn how you do all this stuff, and it's really cool. But now that we're in it, I mean, think about it. When's the last time you and I have really sat down and talked this long?
Without a beer, too.
Without a beer, without involving something else, like where we're going to go, or what are we going to eat? It's like got to eat something.
It doesn't exist,
it doesn't have to. Everything doesn't have to evolve around food and alcohol.
No, but that's how it usually is. But that's when that's.
Because we've always done it that way. Yeah, going back to.
No.
Well, why do you do it that way? Yeah, I don't know. We've always done it that way. Yeah, so we don't have to.
It doesn't exist. So this is cool because it also captures this period of our lives, which is another period, we've been through many seasons together, But it kept, and you flew here for this. You came to Florida for this. This was your intention to be here for this, which is really cool. That's
Right.
special honor too. We have our first guest who'd flown in to be on the
Oh yeah, make sure you put that on there.
right. And to celebrate the occasion tomorrow night, we're going to see Strange Love, Depeche Mode cover band. I guess they are. I don't know, on tour.
Maybe.
We'll be able to know. No, we're definitely going. But are they called?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know who
if
the band
if
is.
there's maybe one member of Depeche Mode there, or nobody.
Or they're all brand new. But to go back to our roots of
music.
Our alternative '80s music, yeah. To see them in Fort Myers, so that'll be how we the finale of the time together. But it has been nice to
that's
just be able to be
that's
there.
at a theater or a performing arts venue,
Barbara B.
right?
Mann, uh-huh.
And I was, my son recently went to a concert in Atlanta. It was that kind of a venue. And I said, boy, I've been to a concert like that. It was at the Fox Theater in Detroit. Guess who it was? And I told him, it was the Violent Femmes.
No way.
Yeah, Violent Femmes. And, of course, I said they were a little bit of a crude band, lyric-wise and stuff, but
Gone, Daddy, Gone.
that was the alternative music that we listened to.
The Violent Femmes.
The
Wow.
Plimsolls,
Plimsolls, yeah, a million miles away.
Yeah, all that Valley Girl soundtrack.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got you off track.
No, that's actually leads right into it, because that's the whole next segment too. So it's like the kind of personal, everyday stuff that's going on in life right now. So what soundtrack playlist, your In the Zone playlist right now? What are you listening to?
I'm not listening to enough music, is what I realize. But I started playing guitar again, so getting the calluses built up a little bit.
Cool.
But I don't know. As far as the old stuff, I always listen to The Cure. That's kind of a go-to.
Yeah.
The Plimsolls,
So I'm building a playlist of all the guests that we have on the podcast of their musical genre. Like last guest, Eileen, Patsy Cline was her, who she's listening to now. And we've had every, all genres, from pretty wide range of, one woman had seen, who was it from the Baker Center, Zach? Dr. Pfeiffer, who was at the when the Beatles came to the United States. She was in Atlantic City to see the Beatles, and she was she got to give the Beatles the key to the city, but she had to promise not to scream, because all the girls were screaming. If you see the videos of the girls when they'd see the Beatles, and she could not contain herself. She did it. She was just, to this day, that memory for her was so vivid to see the Beatles, and so that's one of the other ones.
So, I have deleted a bunch because, your phone always runs out of memory. But if I go to Spotify and see what's in my library. Oh, what's this? Tesla Gator Drive. I think I made a playlist for you when you got your you first got your Tesla.
Oh, cool. All right. I'll have to share it. Yeah, you probably sent it to me. I probably already have it.
The Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, the original rappers, the first rap.
The Rapper's Delight.
The first rap group. They invented rap, pretty much.
Yep. I reminisced about that. Redbone.
Yeah. That's the artist.
That's the artist, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think of the song, but yeah, Redbone, I know.
Come and Get Your Love.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Did you know that's an all Native American band? Yes, that's
Really?
an all Native American band.
Really?
Yep, I'll play you the video later. But the video clip actually starts with a guy in full headdress doing an Indian chant, and then the drum goes boom, and it goes right into that song there. And that song got revived by Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah,
because that's one of his songs that he
Well,
plays.
they didn't get canceled, or they were still allowed to be original because they're Native Americans.
They didn't make them not wear the headdress and stuff. So, there's the one. Colby. So Fleetwood Mac, Landslide.
All
a lot
coming
of
back.
Fleetwood Mac
All
stuff.
coming back. A lot of Fleetwood
Joe
stuff.
Jackson.
Is she really going out with him?
Look Sharp.
Stepping out.
Yeah.
Look sharp. Yeah, Joe.
I think it kind of had that bass kind
Yeah, that hits it. Yeah. Classic.
Then there's Nico Moon, Country. Nothing but a good time.
Oh yeah, that now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Led Zeppelin, Fool in the Rain, Van Morrison.
Yeah.
Linda
Linda had one of our guests who threw me completely off guard. I had no idea. She's, I don't know, probably their 60s, late 60s. CEO of Youth Haven in Naples. She's just given her life to kids. She just loves what she does. And her go-to music is speeding on I-75 when she's going fast, and Led Zeppelin. She just threw me completely. She's like, "You're a Zeppelin girl."
Like the old stuff, like
like Black Dog. And,
yeah. So I got some Hootie and the Blowfish, Darius Rucker, Blake Shelton, some more country stuff, Sugarland, Zach Brown. This is Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
I love that.
There's
Under the Bridge.
bass.
Under the Bridge.
Heavy bass there. Yeah. You were always the bass player.
Yeah. Some Maroon 5. Got lots of country on here. I think that's it. Look at some of the other ones. Let's see what I put on your
On my Tesla list?
Your Tesla list. Yeah. Nelly.
Oh, there you go.
I
That's
got some big ones.
Michelle's group.
I got some Cure, Fine Young Cannibals, Joe Jackson, English Beat,
Fine
Eddie
Young
Money,
Cannibals.
the Plimsouls, ABC,
Oh,
Billy
you were
Idol,
big ABC,
Ted
yeah.
Nugent,
The Look of Love.
Van Halen, Third Day, Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Christian one. The Cramps,
Oh yeah, that was
Goo Goo Muck,
Goo Goo Muck. Yeah.
the Proclaimers. I would walk by.
Oh yeah. That was their one-hit wonder.
Santana, Oyo Como Va,
Yeah, that's a classic.
riding the Tesla.
That fits. Yeah, that fits.
Low Rider. Queen, Rush, Violent Femmes, Bow Wow Wow.
I Want Candy.
Yep. Young MC,
Oh yeah,
Bust a Move.
one song. Yeah, Bust a Move. Yeah.
Depeche Mode, Never Let Me Down Again.
Tomorrow Night.
Yep. Tears for Fears, The.
One of the best. One of the best.
Yeah, you remember this one? Oh, it's a slow.
That's Kurt Vernico's.
Yeah, that's Kurt Vernico's.
He really found the alternative.
Yeah.
From Vinyl Fever.
Thompson Twins, Elvis Costello, Squeeze, REM, New Order.
This whole segment's going to have to be music. Like literally, we're going to have to put clips into this whole, like this will be its own little session.
Yeah.
This little chunk right here where we just literally put in the music in the background of all those good ones.
I told you we should do another podcast, just, Rock and Rob and Jam and Jeff back in
we got to go back.
high school days of
realistic.
We'll go do a Sadie Hawkins dance over at Baron Collier.
That's where it all started.
Be the
We were the
legend.
DJs. Yeah. There's a realistic mixer that they can sell on eBay because they don't exist anymore. It was an analog mixer, audio mixer. If you look up Radio Shack realistic mixer, this was like the biggest breakthrough for us because we could mix music pre digital. It was all an analog mixer that allowed us to put 2 turntables and a tape deck together. And that was the whole DJ booth was run from that little mixer, which you could still get on eBay. But now we have this
could
mixer.
wind down one
here.
song and another one go up. You didn't have that dead
and to
time.
scratch, you had to, well, I never did that, but you had to start up the next record. You had to get it going because the song didn't start immediately. It had to have ramp up time because the belts on those
Turntables didn't go.
Yeah, you kind of had to give it a little leeway to go to get the next one started to mix into the next one. So if you had a song that ended really cold, a cold ending that was really hard, like sudden, it didn't fade out. You had to be really quick to get that next one going because
you're perfect at that.
Yeah, that was
so
spent a lot of times doing that. But now it's all digital. You can tell it to.
You can just use AI to do it for you.
Yeah, right. It hasn't given me much in life, but good musical fun because it funded. That's really didn't make any money at that. It was pretty much just to keep my record collection. That's where all the money went to keep the albums. Making money from DJing weddings and Sadie Hawkins dances. What's something you're surprisingly good at that most people wouldn't know?
Getting people to in a crowd to get their attention so they stop talking so somebody can speak.
Oh yeah. At a wedding when it's time for the don't
blow out his ears. Yeah, but when I do that everybody's
whistle,
like, oh yeah, really loud whistle like that.
Okay, that's great. I never had that one before.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
I mean, that's either that or sneeze 10 times.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that would be awesome if that happened on cue.
Yeah.
He has this thing where, like, he can't sneeze once. You'll sneeze, like, what? Like
10 times.
Like, how do you do that when you're driving?
It's dangerous because you close your eyes every time you sneeze.
Yeah. Like, you can't stop it once it
you
starts.
just hold onto the wheel straight and take your foot off the gas and just hope that people don't, like, get ticked off.
Because once one comes, they just keep coming. And this is like this cycle
it's a big exhale. And then I have to take a breath in, and it re-triggers the.
I don't know anybody else that has that. It's like a thing.
Yeah,
it's a talent, maybe. It's a hidden talent.
Well, now you can tell people you know somebody who can do that.
Yeah, because you're the only one to know. Coffee order.
It's usually just coffee, cream and sugar. I mean, if I was going to go like maybe a cappuccino. Maybe Julia got me, like in the afternoon, I usually can't drink hot coffee, even though I've done it here because I'm following your lead and having espressos. You got your espressos, yeah. But she got me drinking the iced vanilla lattes with oat milk.
Of course.
Gotta be the oat milk.
Okay, so you do have sort of a Starbucks sort of get in there with the Gen Z, Gen Y.
Yeah, I don't look too weird. Yeah. Black coffee.
Yeah. Oat milk.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Michelle's drink.
You looking at your notes makes me think of when we were driving in your Monte Carlo on the way to school because we never studied for the vocabulary test or spelling test or whatever it was, and we were like cramming on the way to school. All right, give me this word. What does this word mean?
Did we even do that? We did that. I'm glad you remember us doing some of that.
Yeah, we do it on the way to school. We never studied beforehand. We would just kind of like quiz each other on the way to school, and that was it.
Sadly, I don't have a good memory of doing the homework in school. I don't know how I get through it. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember doing a lot of schoolwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Studying on the way to school.
Yeah.
All right. Pick 3. Okay, you're gonna read
I get
it
to
out
ask
loud?
you these questions.
These are for you. They're your own. You get to pick your own. So, read the question out loud so we can hear you. You got to tell us what you're looking at.
Oh,
you got to read it out loud.
Oh,
so we know.
I'm scammers. So this one's easy. Have you saved anyone's life? When and how? No.
Have you saved anyone's life?
Have you saved anyone's life?
Okay. Well, you don't know that. You don't know.
Yeah, not that I can remember. No.
But you don't know. Like you could have, maybe somebody
no
was...
Heimlichs, no drownings, no...
Yeah, but in the literal sense. But you could have you could have said something to somebody that, or you could have delayed somebody from leaving that was going to get in a car accident that you didn't know that.
Yeah,
you
that's
delayed
true.
them, or
Yep, not that I know of.
not that you know of. Okay.
Yep. In what ways do you consider yourself blessed? Just to still be alive. My dad died at 51. And my kids, my wife, just blessed that they're healthy and doing well. And there's so many more ways to be blessed than not. So just blessed to be here, blessed to have you as a friend. So, the list is very long.
Good. That was a good one.
Those two were deeper. Those are deeper cards. The blue ones are.
Oh, now you're just
So,
an icebreaker level.
What was your favorite food growing up? It's definitely, toss up between city chicken and chicken Bangkok. My mom's food.
Do you have those recipes?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
wanna
got to
make
share
it?
them. We should. We should definitely do that. Yeah. That would be cool.
If I had it with me, we would make
That would be cool.
chicken Bangkok tonight.
That has to be on our bucket list. Yeah. To do.
Or,
these.
the city chicken was good, which is just meat on a stick.
Yeah. It's not even chicken though, is it?
It's not even chicken.
Yeah. Right.
It's veal, I think it's veal and
Is it pork too?
is it veal and pork?
Okay. Yeah.
You alternate the cubes and then you roll it in breadcrumbs and bake it.
That was good, man.
They call it city chicken because it's like you're eating chicken, but you're just on a wooden skewer, just eating meat off a stick.
Is that a Polish thing or
I don't think so.
just a
I think it's
recipe that
dish.
Mom had?
Yeah, just
Okay.
a dish.
All right.
My
Well,
mom
we
had.
got to put those on our bucket list for sure.
So,
Gotta have 'em.
I mean, that was probably my favorite things.
Yeah.
I did like liver and onions too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that too.
Yeah.
It's good for you too.
Yeah.
Coming back. So how was it for you so far?
What?
This conversation?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think that it's just how often do we get to have a conversation and be present with somebody?
Yeah.
And you learn so much more about people or about yourself even, and kind of when you start to ask, because a couple times during us talking, it was like, yeah, so that's kind of what happened in my life. Yeah, that's probably why I think that way, or this is, like talking about how it just never stops. It's not like, because I started thinking, it's like, yeah, this all sounds like pretty cool stuff that I did, but it's still hard, So just being able to realize that. And I kind of was hoping that this would kind of prompt me to kind of start thinking more about, now that I'm newly retired, not really doing the corporate gig stuff anymore, is just kind of think about how to give back. I still don't know exactly, but, having these types of conversations, more deeper conversations about stuff, kind of, I think is going to help point me in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, and this also documented, like, the clips that you'll have from this are snippets of what you did have as in your library of life that you can, reference, use, or if you are consulting or whatever you have, because you defined it, talked about it. It's
So you're saying,
here.
basically, you're saying is that as your memory fades, you'll have this to go back and look at and say, you actually.
Well, I wasn't, but that's a good point. That's true
Yeah.
too. But if you're taking that up again and you're going to get back into the world of consulting or whatever, there's snippets
Sharing
here
my
that
life
you've, that are what you said. But it's also good. That's why I like to have this too. It's also good to it's a documentation of life at this stage. It's this season, whatever it is. So it's something I never did with my people in my family that I wish I had.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever think about how, it's kind of creepy in one way, but if we all had like since we've been born, had like a recorder, like a body cam, Yeah. And so like you could go back and say, oh, what did I do when I was 3 years old?
Yeah.
That would be so cool. And
I
just
know.
have like a historical log of your life that you could go back to and say, what did I get for my 9th birthday party? What was that like? Or
that era didn't have that. I think now there's more of that
you could
documentation.
Probably do
of it
that.
now.
Those pendants, those AI pendants I was talking about the other day. I don't know when we were talking about it, but at the sunglass place.
Yeah.
Because they had those Google glasses.
Yeah.
The AI glasses. But there's these pendants now that listen to everything that's going on. And you can say, oh, well, what was that conversation at 1 o'clock today? What was the 3 things I was supposed to remember? And it'll play it back to you or whatever.
That'd be wild. Yeah.
But it's kind of close to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if we had that, would we learn from history still? We still don't learn from history.
Mm-mm. It's the best predictor of the future.
But it's like, if you had that to kind of go back on and review, that's not somebody's interpretation of your life, but it's the video recording or the audio recording of what actually happened.
That moment in time.
That moment in time.
Yeah.
And then you think, getting more deeper, you think about like, what if we did have that? Or what if they did have it and it was being done, but then, the big meteor hit and lost all power and it's gone because they don't have electric power anymore. And, like you don't have access to all that digital format. It's like, we go back and we say, oh, we found the Bible or we found the Lost Sea Scrolls. And now we've got all this digital stuff. But if we have this big electromagnetic impulse kind of bomb that goes off or something, all of our digital recordings of history and stuff like that is going to be erased, and society's got to start all over again.
Iron Mountain has a place in the world. Put
it in the mountain. Put it in the cave.
But not even as catastrophic as that. Think about when Wi-Fi goes down at somebody's house.
Yeah.
It happened to us last week, and it's like, shut us down for the night. Like, whoa, everything we do. How I turn the lights off. Alexa, turn the lights off. Alexa.
Got to walk over to the switch and actually turn the lights off.
Yeah. Where is the switch? I don't even know. Like, which switch does that? Because it's all automated. And then the show we're going to watch comes through streaming. We're not going to watch that. Okay, if we're not streaming, then we'll scroll on our phones. Can't do that because we don't have a cell signal at our house.
Yeah.
So suddenly we were like,
so dependent.
Wow, this is crazy. Like, seeing how dependent life is on everything that we went to do. Like, one night of that. It's sad. In a way, like, to think, oh my gosh, we're that digitally connected to everything, like everything you go to do, and especially in my house because I have everything hooked up to some form of automation. And when that Wi-Fi was down, some of the stuff is local, but a lot of it isn't. It needs the net to make it function. And then you see, wow, that was really
well. That's why it's like today when we were over at the village and I walked outside and was looking in the canal and seeing the fish going by, and it's like that's better than scrolling on the phone at Reels inside the salon waiting for you to get done with your meeting.
The village is the most beautiful spot in Naples, one of the most beautiful spots on the water.
But it's like going up to our cabin and just going for a hike and seeing the color, the leaves change colors, or seeing a deer walk through the woods. And it's like before we had electricity and people in the wilderness and they had cabins and stuff, they would just look up at the stars and have a campfire or whatever. Just enjoy the outdoors. Yeah, God's creation.
And we live in the most beautiful place in the world. And I think, Zach, we're almost finished here. I know Zach's got to go to the gym too. I probably got you late for the gym. He's a CrossFitter. And I know we got to go. Okay, all right.
Holy cow!
I was.
What time?
I was. Where did that thought go? Gone. No, I was at a point there. I was headed towards.
Well, it was about outdoors.
Oh yeah. When I saw Suki from Ridgeway, where we had lunch.
Oh yeah.
Her name is Suki, and I saw her here outside. And I said, "Thank you for, having your place," because we had a great lunch there. And I said, it was a perfect Chamber of Commerce moment because I'm trying to woo Jeff and Pam back to Naples to move back here to get another place. So you really helped support that. I told her that. So we're trying to get another good soul back to home, to come home.
I mean, like we were talking on the way over, is like just get off the plane and you smell that fresh Florida air. It's like, you're home.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you feel that humidity.
Yeah.
You feel it on your skin. I love that feeling. Some
Yeah.
people are like, oh, it's humid. No, man. That's when I know I'm home. Let's get off the plane from Detroit.
Go golfing,
wherever.
go fishing, go to the beach.
I don't mind the heat.
Yeah.
It's paradise. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that. So thanks for presencing that for me too. Again. And thanks for Pam for making this happen with Jeff and for being such a great wife and to my best friend.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Very supportive. Yeah, I just realized something. I don't think I looked at the camera. Is that okay? I don't think I was looking at you the whole time.
Yeah, that's all right. Sometimes I do when I talk to Pam or when I talk to Michelle or whoever else is still here. If you're still listening right now, God bless you. Wow, you made it. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Sat
Zach's
going
to cut out about, 2/3 of this and like make it digestible.
I don't know. How many clicks have you done? When did we start? Where are we at? Before I have one more question, but
We are 2 hours and 20 minutes.
oh, we're not even close to the record. Yeah, we're not even close.
it.
Right. So we have to do a
Put
part
it on
two.
auto.
Have to do a
You
part
can
two.
go.
We definitely this leads to that. We definitely have to do another version because at the next season. Because
Well,
there's so many areas we didn't talk about that I would love to, but we got a lot. We got it started anyway. Got you here for round one. So.
Start the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a look at the stuff, and I'm sure we'll say let's just focus on that topic.
Yeah.
And go deeper on there.
Yeah.
Or something else will come up, and we'll say, hey, let's talk about it. Maybe it would be my new venture or something.
Yeah.
Whatever that ends up being, whatever possibility gets put in front of me, and I decide to jump at it.
Yeah.
But revisiting all this stuff just makes me remember that person that did all that stuff. That was me.
Yeah. And it is you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is part of who you are.
Yeah.
And why I love you and appreciate your friendship for many of these years
Likewise.
of my life. Yeah. Last question
Yep.
for this segment. What do you love about your life?
That was my pause and looking at the camera. I love everything. The highs, the lows, as much as I feel like you kind of have to wing it because we all wing it. We don't have everything that we do, we're doing it for the first time. It's like we've never really had the exact same scenario. Like you've done 32 of these, but you're doing this one for the very first time, right? So I kind of feel like we're winging it all the time, and I think it's kind of turned out pretty good. I've been blessed, like I said. My kids are healthy, and we'll find out in years to come. But I don't think they're going to be all messed up because of stuff I did. Maybe they'll probably say that I screwed something up. I don't know, but it was my first time being a parent. But no, I'm just phrase the question again.
What do you love about your life?
I love that I get to pretty much do anything I want. I have the freedom to do that. There's a lot of people that don't have that freedom. And it's not just freedom like being free, like because we live in America, but, that I've gotten to a place, mentally freeing to where, times that I get depressed and lonely or whatever, but I also know that I have the ability to kind of get out of that. So that's what I like about, I guess, my life is being able to have that freedom in those different aspects. But I love my wife, love my life, love my kids. So, and, God willing, I'm healthy. We never know exactly how healthy we are.
Yeah.
But, so I think that's probably it.
Perfect. Let's go look at those houses that you're looking at down here.
Yeah. Reel them in. All right. Yeah, you saw that one listing. I know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that one, but I think I'm going to go talk to your son about going fishing later.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
We got into a long conversation about going fishing down here.
Yeah. He's a good fisherman. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good. He's got it in him. You know, I never did, but he's got it.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Yeah.
You just didn't have the patience back then,
No,
like
I
sitting on the
still don't.
seawall.
No, but we'd sit on the seawall. That was fun. But yeah, pictures of you on the seawall.
Yeah,
Yeah. Behind
that's
Dad's
right.
house.
Wearing that
Bag on
bandana.
your head. Yeah, the bandana too.
The
And
bandana.
for some reason, we took some pictures with the bag on your head too.
Had
I
a
don't know,
bag on my head.
Yeah, it was a silly, something
Prank.
stupid we were doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
When half the roll, you get it developed, and you realize that half the roll
Why did I take
is
that
no
picture?
good. Yeah, what am I taking? What is this for?
Yeah.
You had to pay and wait. You had to wait
I
for
know.
them to develop it, and then you were like, oh, "What's that for?" That's a whole other episode.
Well, that's a whole nother. Now people love to get the printed out pictures.
yeah, it's going back.
Yeah, it's like, well, why?
Retro.
Just take the digital ones and print out the ones you like. Don't pay for a whole roll getting printed.
Yeah, just print what you want. Yeah,
It's like, oh, I got to take it with the old style camera.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like, what does a phone look like?
Julia went through a phase of buying disposable cameras.
Oh, cool.
Just buy a
Go
disposable
old
camera
school.
and then
Yeah, that's cool.
take it
Yeah.
and print it out. I guess it's the anticipation of wondering how they turned
Yeah.
out or what
Did
they
I
look
take a
like.
good one or not? I can't
Yeah.
look at it. Right. That instant gratification.
Yeah. But yeah, let's do this again.
Yeah, please.
We can
Thanks.
do this again later tonight off camera and off microphone.
Yeah, right,
But
right.
we should do the podcasting
Well, we'll
again.
have to take some clips. Maybe we'll put some clips of this concert tomorrow.
Well, and
too.
I got to talk to Zach too about how all the
good.
what the prep is like and what the after, how much effort goes into it. See if I can recruit Julia into doing all the editing and
Yeah.
stuff because she did those.
Yeah, she's got all that.
graphic
She's good
stuff.
at that. Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, so that could be a great resource for her. Yeah. So, maybe we'll do some clips tomorrow night too of the show and put them in here.
there you go.
The journey to the Depeche Mode that we'll play around with.
We can do some staged ones too. You can then be leaning over a garbage can and make
Yeah, yeah.
partying too much at
Yeah.
61, and then we'll have that clip. It's like oh, party, and then Zach will pan to the clock and it's like 7:30 p.m. not midnight, but it's like
yeah.
gotta go to bed. It's 7:30.
With a Diet Coke in our hands.
Yeah.
All right, well, we should go work out. Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here.
Right,
Appreciate
thank
it. Love you.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it. Love you too, man.
Thanks.